Good evening, race fans. We're here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway for the Boats and Hoes 400 here in the 100% Cup Series. I'm DeMar Sickenbottom in the booth with Carlos Acosta pushing the buttons. Will also be joining me here on the broadcast as we go round of 8 racing. Here we're in the second round after Las Vegas. Exciting week last week. A lot of playoff shakeups, and the guys will try to. The guys that are below the cut line that need to get above it will be doing all they can to secure stage points in a good finishing position. As we see on screen, John Delaney, the big winner from the race at Las Vegas. So he's plus 32 above the cut. Patrick Gitter, Dyson, and Hoytsma are currently who are pointing in. And Murray, DeCiani, Anderson, and Miller are the guys that have some work to do tonight. Robert Miller is not in attendance. So if he does attend Martinsville, he will be in a must-win situation. So hopes everything is good with Robert. The rookie standings, as per usual, the last few weeks, Patrick Gitter still has that commanding lead over Andrew Dyson. Put a little more distance between him and Dyson last week, I believe, as you can see there. Clayton Hoffman and Jim Schofield are your other contenders. I believe Clayton is not here tonight, but Jim Schofield is in the house. Team standings as they run through race 33 here after Las Vegas. Dirty South Racing continues to pull away with a close 300-point lead over Apex Racing, but their Apex is still mounting a case here for that first place finish. As you see the rest of the guys, Conti, Loudmouth, Prodigy, Elite, Stint Analyzer, and Dangerous with a couple entries here tonight. Manufacturers Championship, Chevrolet has put another win on the board and more points as they again extend that lead above the Ford manufacturer. Toyota still looking for that first win of the season, so hopefully we have Bobby Anderson in the house tonight, and maybe tonight is the 5 cars night. We shall see. As the boys start to grid up, as you can see on screen, again, here at Miami Homestead.
That's Homestead. 2 times today, huh?
I'm thinking Miami, man. I want to get down there.
It's okay.
Anyway, Homestead-Miami Speedway again, as we look at our starting grid. John Delaney takes pole again. Mr. Saturday strikes again there in the 6 car. Patrick Gitter on the front row with him. So a good run here by EPI Team Conti. Adam Benefield and Dustin Hall are on your second row. Alex Murray and Carl Dodson, third row. Matt DeCiani will start 7th. Alex Van Descent will start 8th. Sean O'Brien is in the 9th position with Neil Pearson back in the house tonight after missing last week's race. Nolan Hodgson will be your 11th place starter here, right alongside Matt Long in the DSR Ford racing machine there. Followed by Lucas Hoytsma in 13th. Jason Jedi Taylor will be starting beside him. Bobby Anderson, Jim Schofield. A new entrant into 100% Cup Series after getting that Cup license from D2. Cody Colley will be starting in 17th near the back and looking to move up and make an impression here. Tanner Marty's in your 18th position. Jeff Chandler, Wayne Grass on the next row. Randy Drumhiller, Kyle Ammon, and Dalton Mobley and Andrew Dyson will be your back row. So story of that there, Carlos, is look, Andrew Dyson starting in 24th, didn't have the breast qual. I got a chance to talk to him before the race and just flubbed that qual lap. Kind of tail slapped the wall and got a little stuck there with the wall physics and was unable to do a second lap. And here he is in the back looking to get some stage points tonight and work his way up the field safely. But lights are off on the pace car as we round through 3 and 4. Again, the field will be under the control of Mr. John Delaney. And as soon as the pace car ducks off, it is at his discretion when to go. Again, restart zones not used in the series tonight, as we await for the boys to go. And off they are away. We are underway at the Boats and Hoes 400 and 100% Cup Series. Lap number 1 as we dive down into turn 1. Side by side, 2 by 2. The bottom line will be the preferred line. Again, we have the progressive banking here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, so that 18 to 22 degree banking. So we will see the middle lane in use tonight, just like we did at Las Vegas. Potentially some top lane and ripping the boards as well, if some of the guys have set the car up for that. Looks like as we round the lap 1, Patrick Gitter is not relenting on that top position for John Delaney. He wants to take the lead and get out in that clean air, and clean air he will have as he pulls out and away. We got some 3 wide back in the pack. Alex Van Descent, a little back further in the field, racing with Sean O'Brien Jr. It looks like Neil Pearson is already on the move with some action here in the back, and there it is, that 3-lane racing we were already talking about. The boys didn't waste any time, get to it here on lap 2. We are away, and I expect to see a whole lot of that tonight. Before we get spaced out, track position will be key and so important. Again, these next-gen cars, very aerodynamically dependent. You want to get that clean air wherever you can get it. So if you're running on, some guys are running on the bottom, you want to be on the top. The guys are on the top, you want to be on the bottom. But here we go. Matt Long, they all kind of filed in here. Looks like that kind of middle lane is the preferred line, kind of off the rip here. I'm seeing some guys.
Jedi Taylor already has significant front end damage.
Oh no! I wonder how he got that.
See,
maybe
it's
a little restart snafu. Yeah, that must have been on the restart. Maybe someone didn't get going in his line, or maybe he just was anticipating too much. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, that is a pretty big dent there. So damage on the 41 machine of that Supreme car driven by Jason Jedi Taylor, Mr. Strategy. So we will keep an eye on his progress as the race continues tonight. Lap number 4, as we work one end of the speedway. Things remain the same in the top 5. You have Patrick Gitter, John Delaney, Dustin Hall in P3, Adam Benefield, and Alex Murray rounding out your top 5. As we have Dustin Hall on screen tonight. Dustin, hey, buddy.
It's very interesting to see. You mentioned for the starts and restarts of the race how the inside line would be dominant, and that would be the key line, but almost immediately Gitter was able to use that outside line momentum and get past and clear himself from John Delaney, and well, he's been leading for the whole first 4 laps of this race. But Delaney, he's gonna let somebody, get comfortable before he makes a move, and it looks like lap 5 is when he decides, let me get that lead.
Yeah, it's battle for the lead. John Delaney ducks under Patrick Gitter as they go into, I believe, 3 and 4 here. Something I did see is we do have a few guys that are ripping the top already, trying to make up some ground. I saw Lucas Hoytman on the previous lap. As John Delaney, nothing doing there for the lead. So Patrick Gitter will retain that as we work into lap number 6. But a few guys that are using the top line is kind of similar, Carlos. I know we saw Carl Dotson was the man of the hour last week at Las Vegas. So similar motive there. If you take the top line, you can use up more tire, but that's where the guys aren't. And you can, if you get the momentum, pick off 2 to 3 guys at a time if you're feeling frisky there to try to make up that track position before you settle into tire save mode. There's another battle for the lead. They're back side by side. John Delaney wants that top spot. Again, I believe he won the D2 race here last night. So a pretty strong car. I think he's definitely wanting to get that stint analyzer number 6 in front of the 21. Again, get out of the dirty air, so he doesn't have to rotate as much and spin as much of those front tires up as we work to the end of the stage. Stage 1 tonight will be at the end of lap 80. So that's where we're going. We expect to have a pit stop between now and then as they stay side by side here for the top spot. Dustin Hall sitting behind them and Adam Benefield waiting patiently for their chance to maybe have a go at the lead. Again, tire saving will be the name of the game, similar to Las Vegas, so you'll expect the first 15 to 20 laps or so the guys to be biding their time so they can have that pace as we get closer to that pit stop window so that they can then make moves and protect against the undercuts and all the guys behind. As we see on screen, there's our man Carl Dotson in the 2 car up high, side by side with Matt Long, and battling there with also in the gold car Lucas Hoytsma. He's pretty tight on Matt Long, not a whole lot of room there given. A testament to how clean these guys race. Hard but clean racing here in the 100% Cup Series. But they remain side by side here back in the midfield.
Yeah, single file racing for pretty much the majority of the field. I believe this is the first case of double file racing. That's just a battle for position, which is very uncharacteristic for Homestead-Miami, a track where, the progressive banking you mentioned earlier, a lot of the drivers will be leaning towards ripping that outside line, as well as middle line drivers, and very few drivers are going to be holding their own on the inside. This is not an inside racing type of track. You can make it work, maybe for qualifying, but you really want to set your car up for ripping up on that outside wall using that Kyle Larson line of approval. But uncharacteristically, single file racing. But we are only on lap 10. And this track, just like the Auto Club Speedway, rest in peace, really shows its colors on restarts, where all these drivers start getting 3, 4, maybe not really 5 wide, but 4 wide, and really trying to get the most you can from a restart.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of track real estate out there to make moves on the restart. As you mentioned, single file restart again. Tire saving is critically important here, as it was at Las Vegas in the last round of 8 here. Again, we saw that quite a bit as we have more side-by-side racing here. Neil Pearson, who we expect to be pretty quick tonight. The Australian team and these DSR, the Dirty South Racing Boys, have unloaded with something pretty quick. They were very strong last night in the Division 2 race with Andrew Dyson trying to put a hurting on the field again, getting ever better at those ovals. As we continue to watch Neil Pearson side by side here with Alex Van der Sant, who's working the very top of the track. Let's see if Alex does that again, or if he's working the middle lane. The middle lane looks like is what he's choosing here at this end of the track. For Alex Van der Sant, this is your battle here for 7th and 8th position. As we run, it looks like Neil Pearson is able to keep that position away from the 96 machine as we look out of the gearbox, and more side-by-side racing behind them as Lucas Hoytsma and I believe that's Matt DiCiani behind them are going side-by-side. Oh, sorry, that's Carl Dotson, excuse me, that are side-by-side behind them as we continue to race here through lap number 13. They're moving, clicking off pretty quick here, Carlos. If we don't have any cautions, this may be a pretty fast race, as we do see a car up there ripping the boards. I believe that is Sean O'Brien Jr., if I can read that car correctly.
Yeah, that's correct.
Already taken to the Larson line, which is very hard to do. You know, obviously the likes of Tyler Reddick and Kyle Larson, look, we all know how good they are at ripping the boards and running the top. In the simulator, pretty hard. I mean, entry is so key when you do that to make sure that you can get the rotation, because look, the margin of error is so slim. You enter high and make sure that the car is loaded up and slowed down before you get to that kind of outside apex. As John Delaney is now using that top lane to keep and defend against Dustin Hall here, as we've had a change for the lead. So John Delaney was able to take that top spot away here some time ago. So he now runs in P1. The number one car of Dustin Hall is now in P2. So a little bit of shakeup. Getter on the slide back and is falling back into the clutches of Adam Benefield, it looks like. So new leader here as we lap through lap 15 at Miami Homestead Speedway.
You are having a hard time today.
I'm gonna write it. I gotta write it. I'm gonna put it on my screen here or something. Make myself a sticky note.
This is of a lot of Thru ITV fans will know my favorite track. It's my home track, and a track I'll be at in person tomorrow. So it's always a pleasure. I always want to either drive or broadcast these races at Homestead, and I actually have a fee for Thru ITV. The Homestead is not the season finale fee of about $1,000. Yeah. Unfortunately for me, though, a lot of people are able to talk their way out of that fee, but maybe one day somebody won't.
Yep, make sure you send that invoice to Kevin Steele for the 100% Cup Series. I'm sure he can take care of all of that. Miami Homestead, Miami Speedway, a great racetrack in the progressive banking, puts on a heck of a show. It kind of, it sucks for most fans, and I'm one of those that this is no longer our NASCAR real world finale. As you know, we all go to Phoenix now here. As it looks like as Patrick Gitter's taking a look here to the outside of John Delaney, he may be doing that as we step back just a little back in the field with Neil Pearson, Nolan Hodgson, and Matt Long. They were doing battle for a little bit. As we still have some fighting here. That 96 machine of Alex Van der Sant as well in the middle sandwich. But don't look now though, Carlos. That 04 machine of Andrew Dyson, who qualified in your 24th position, is moving quite a way up the field at this point, up to P12. So he is definitely on the move, someone we need to watch. Again, earlier in the season was really strong and really dominant on the road courses, but as the season has progressed, has gotten ever better on these intermediate ovals. So that package for Dirty South Racing, which he's a member of, has gotten better and better as we work through the season. And here he is on the move, now sitting behind the 12 machine of Nolan Hodgson in that pink Brant number Chevrolet.
This is your biggest mover of the race here so far. Of course, only 19 or 18 laps in. We are on lap 19 actually, and the only driver in the double digits of positions gained at 13, making it possibly 14 here in a little 12 around there. The next closest competitor, as Jonathan Delaney is able to continuously hold off against Dustin Hall.
Boy, banging between the 12 and the 04, Carlos.
Lucas Hoytsma in 8th is +5.
Absolutely, and we've had another change for the lead, but I think it's just swapped back again. So Dustin Hall was briefly in the lead there up front, but it looks like John Delaney's been able to take that back away from that number one machine. So the Team Conti boys, that one car in the 83, as we got Dustin Hall back on screen there, who looks as cool as a cucumber, not bothered by anything. It sits back behind John Delaney. So this may be a swap back and forth kind of race. as you get that run off of 1 and 2 or 3 and 4, and able to kind of slipstream around the folks in front of you. But I got to say, I did get a chance to speak to all the Team Country folks before the race, and they had a lot of work to do as he maybe lets his teammate by there. A little bit of teamwork to say, go out.
He got loose. He got heavily loose in 3 and 4.
Yep, car maybe not handling the way to Dustin Hall's liking as now the 21 car. So a little driver owner action here. Dustin Hall owns the team of EPI, which Patrick Gitter here races for, I believe. So boss man letting his driver go by there as well. And he's continuing to slide back as now I believe that's Alex Murray underneath the 1 car as we come out of turn 4 here and back onto the front stretch.
Yeah, the pack action is picking up a little bit here in Homestead-Miami Speedway as we saw 2 and almost 3 right there between the 07 and the 62 and 97 there battling for position. As I believe we are approaching a lap vehicle. It might be Cody Colley from Shade Tree Motorsports.
Yep, so the 112 machine here of Cody Colley, excuse me, not 112,
46.
So Cody. Yep, the 46 of Cody Colley, who is making his series debut here in the 100% Cup Series, is not new to the full race experience. He races one of our contemporary series, the that we're aware of. So Sunday Night NASCAR that runs on Sunday night. They also race full length, so he is a participant in that. But looks like that car is struggling just a bit. So he's down 7 positions from where he qualified, and as you can see, only on lap 23 here is in danger of going to lap down as the leaders now have to navigate lap traffic unexpectedly. And he will take to the top side to stay out of everyone's way. Is a little loose there, so he kind of, and this is not what Adam Benefield wants to see. So he has a lap traffic in between him and John Delaney. So that's going to hold him up for a couple tenths as he tries to get back around as he now sets off in pursuit of the number 6 car, again working lap 24 of 267. Our first stage break will be at the end of lap 80. So we would expect, just similar to Las Vegas, that we probably expect guys to split this stage. So you want to see between lap 35 and lap 40 is when we would expect green flag pit stops if we do not get a caution here tonight in stage 1 before we get there. And again, as Carl Dodson showed us last week, Carlos, maybe a couple people willing to gamble on that pit strategy as well, to go long or maybe even go a little bit shorter. And speaking of Carl Dodson, who's running back there in the 16th position, you will notice that he is not charged up to the lead. I got a chance to talk to Carl Dodson before the race as well. He said he is going to switch his strategy entirely. He does plan to save tire and not quite go as hard in the paint as he did at Las Vegas to be stronger along the run and to secure a better finish. Again, was able to pull off part of that strategy. I mean, plan to go short, burn up his tires, and maybe 2-stop a couple stages and things like that. So was able to pull off the first half of those strategy calls, but was unable to ultimately, in the end, secure the position he was looking for. But side-by-side action once again up in the 4th position. Alex Murray is again underneath Dustin Hall in the 22 machine. So the Prodigy eSports driver is trying to work his way up into the top 4 as Dustin Hall will take to that middle lane to try to defend from that position. So again, Progressive Banking here at Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Got it.
Ding, got it. Praise the Lord. So again, just like Las Vegas, man, look, defending on that top is pretty easy. And some action here as he goes up. The blocker maybe got loose. I couldn't see what happened there with the 22 and the 1 car, but that will put them 3 wide. As now I believe that is Lucas Hoitzman in the gold and white machine. So he will get a 2 for 1. Not quite, as they go door to door into the turn here. Alex Murray is now on top. The one of Dustin Hall in the sandwich here. So just what I was about to say actually is that you can defend on the top. So similar to Las Vegas, you want to take away the corner exit from guys, right? So if you take the top and you can just get that quarter panel where they can't come up and they have to compromise the exit there, and you can get down the straightaway and then take away that position. That looks exactly what has happened to Lucas Hoitzman. So after getting all that momentum and the mistakes and the hard racing in front of him, was unable to capitalize because right now the tires are too good. The top line is working well enough that the guys can defend against any kind of moves that are made on the inside. And it's really hard. I mean, we had a lot of guys struggling last night, me included, in our D2 race on Friday night. It's just really hard to get the power down the way that you normally would when you have to kind of sacrifice that exit and can't leak all the way out to the wall where that car wants to go. And
unfortunately for them, that this battle over here resulted in the top 3 kind of checking out in a class of by themselves right now. Delaney, Benefield, and Gitter, who are all 3 over a second over a second to 4th place, and number 22 of Murray, who he himself is starting to check out just a little bit from this battle between Dustin Hall and Lucas Hoisma here. Now we are entering lap number 30 of this race.
Yeah, absolutely. As Dustin Hall continues his backward slide, the 04 of Dyson continue his forward movement. We got Matt DiCiani now, player number 4 has entered the game in that 4 machine as well, trying to get around, and looks like Lucas Hoisma has finally made the move to take that position away. Neil Pearson is next up in the 62 machine on the bottom. Again, not racing in Dirty South, but affiliated with DSR. So I expect that he'll be running the same equipment that his Australian compatriot in the 04 will be running again. Pearson did not run in D2 last night, but I did get a chance to see some footage of the Thursday night league that they both compete in, and he was every bit as fast on that early to mid run as Andrew Dyson. So I'd expect he's probably saving some tires, where Andrew Dyson, speaking to him before the race, said stage points will be critical, especially starting all the way in the back, as he's side by side with Matt DiCiani right now, trying to take that position away and work his way up to the 1 machine to continue his forward progress here in the race. Lap 32, again, working to lap 80. We're expecting to hit that pit window in the next few laps here on 35 to 40 and start to see these guys come down pit road. But yeah, Andrew Dyson saying stage points are critical tonight. He's looking pretty good so far in his playoff standings, but with the bad qual and anything can happen, you don't want to get caught up in anything unnecessarily being where you're out of position and not where you're supposed to be. So he definitely wanted to get to the front and get stage points and then see where he can go from there. As we continue to watch this battle here, back for the 9th and 10th position. So this would be your battle here for stage points, just about. A couple more guys behind them. We got Matt DiCiani, and there's that lone Toyota of Bobby Anderson, that 5 Kellogg's machine in the Tony the Tiger car.
Oh no!
Oh, and the car is loose there and spins to the inside. Who was that? That is Andrew Dyson. Oh no, not what he wanted to see.
Yes.
No caution on the track so far.
He has tagged the inside wall here.
Yep, he has tagged the inside wall. Now he is about, oh man, already a half a lap back. Let's see if he has a meatball flag or any required repair.
It looks like he might.
Here. Yep, he will bring it down pit road to attention pit crew. Now, here's the fortunate part for Andrew Dyson. As we watch him on pit road after that incident on the backstretch, we'll have to go back and see if there was contact or anything there, but you are in the pit window. So not so bad for Andrew Dyson. This does put stage points in jeopardy as we go to a 3-wide TV replay. As we watch what the 04 was doing here, looks like he was looking to the middle lane. Comes up and some net code, it looks like, so not quite full contact, but phantom contact with the 1 machine of Dustin Hall. So that is unfortunate. Now look, that is a hazard for all of our Southern Hemisphere competitors, as we get a blimp overview shot of that.
It looked more like the one just didn't want to hit the outside wall and came down a little bit on the 04 of Dyson. Dyson just was not expecting it.
Yeah, had to come off the wall there to not make contact. But he's still on pit road though, so he did not come right back off.
He probably has a meatball flag.
Yep, so damage being repaired on the 04 machine. Yeah, unfortunate. Again, they probably would have made contact anyway. I know there was a little bit of a gap there. And again, as I was about to say, the folks that race in the Southern Hemisphere, so we have some Australian competitors that compete with us, not only in this series, but also on Friday in D2. And they typically run a higher ping because our servers that we connect to for all the online folks are on the East Coast of the United States. So they typically run a higher ping. What does that mean? Is Microsoft's iRacing's predictive kind of formulas and software where your car should be on the track to compensate for the latency between all of us sitting at home and racing the virtual race cars, has to predict where you are. And sometimes it's just a little bit off because of that a few extra milliseconds that it has to kind of guess where your car will be instead of when you have kind of a lower ping to the server. So again, unfortunate for 04, not what he wanted. He's making a good run, moving up in the field, but then tragedy strikes, and again, not boding well for his night at all. We'll see if he even comes back out on the track, or if he parks it. Maybe he'll jump in the infield care center and get a word with him. On the screen, we're watching Alex Van der Sant in the 96 machine. As we have our first takers, green flag pit stops are now underway. So Carl Dodson, one of the first to come down pit road, pitting back from your about 15th position or so. He's followed by Jason Jedi Taylor with a little bit of damage on the front end from that initial restart that we saw earlier in the Supreme machine. So right on schedule here on lap 38. I'd expect within the next 5 laps or so, we'd probably see the whole field cycle through here unless someone wants to throw a gamble here in stage 1. But hey, look, Carl Dodson sticking true to his word in the 2 car, true to his word in the 2 car. So not going all out blitzing, saving tires, and then coming down pit road, trying the normal strategy this week to see if that can work for him and maybe he can get the finish he wants to at the end.
Then Taylor getting some of that front end damage repaired early on. It would be a good time to do it, but I feel like maybe it would have been better to do it under the yellow of maybe the first stage break, because he's in pit road, and he actually is in pit road for about 42 seconds now. So maybe something else has happened, because I probably would not be doing this. Maybe a couple seconds under green, but not this long.
Yeah, sure. That's way too long. I don't see any penalties on the 41 car as well.
Neither do I.
He's been there 40 seconds, so maybe could have already possibly served as Matt Long. The 97 car is now on pit road as well. So he's come down. Yeah, look, if we were green and we didn't have lap down cars already, I could see taking that gamble to possibly fix some damage and just, hey, let's sacrifice the lap here, and we should be the only lap in the lead car. But remember, we had Cody Colley on lap 23, who was already a lap down, so there's going to be competition for that lucky dog. And when we come back out for the stage, I would expect so. So Carl Dodson, Cody Colley currently a lap down. But again, that's part of the pit road cycle. So Dodson hoping this thing goes green. But I believe he's in the lucky dog position anyway, so he's not got too much to worry about. But definitely does not want to see any issues with the early stop here as we continue to work lap 41 of 267. Again, going to the end of lap 80 here for stage number 1. As we got 3 wide multicam on screen. So we have Lucas Hoytsma up top, who's running in your 6th position right now. And on the bottom, we have Dustin Hall, who is still fighting and scrapping for every position, now under attack from the 47 of Jim Schofield and the 12 of Nolan Hodgson waiting in the wings to get their turn at Dustin Hall. This is back down in your 10th position. So these are where the stage points will be paid out. So everyone trying to get those stage points. Thank you for everybody if you're just joining us for our round of 8 playoff here as we side by side by the 1 and the 12 car. Looks like the 1 car is coming down pit road. Oh, in trouble for the 1 car. Does he get under control? He does. What a save by Dustin Hall. Man, wish we'd had that on camera. I'm pretty sure he was.
I was actually looking at his camera. I was looking at his camera, and he is cool, calm, and collective the whole time. He right there, he was showing signs of like, ooh, I just did that. But while he was in that control slide, it just looked like he may as well just have been like driving a car regularly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool sip.
Yep, getting the drink, as Kimi Räikkönen would say, for the 1 car of Dustin Hall. And Andrew Dyson is back out on track, so he has finally made his way back on the racing surface as Alex Van der Sant, the 96, now brings it down pit road. Still waiting for a number of our leaders to come in here, so the top 5 have decided to stay out and run a little bit long here. Up on the top screen, looks like we got Neil Pearson doing some battle here on the top of your 3-wide multicam here as we continue to watch that battle in front of them, and then Lucas Hoytsma, who's currently again running in your 6th position. But for the folks just tuning in, again, you can see your round of 8 playoff contenders on the left side of the ticker, highlighted in red. So we have Delaney and Gitter currently running in 2nd place. Murray, Hoytsma, and Anderson are your 5th through 7th positions, as it looks like Murray just moved up a position. And you see Matt DeCiani there in the 18th. So he's come down pit road, and he is currently a lap down, so waiting for that green flag cycle to complete here.
I'm a little shocked as, whoa, Tanner Marty. I'm surprised that was not a speeding penalty. He went in there pretty hot, but I'm surprised that not everybody is going down pit road at the 40 mark. I would have expected there to be even a little bit of short pitting, but no, we're already at lap 46, and the majority of the drivers have yet to go down pit road. There's a caution on lap number 80. At lap 81. That's at the end of lap 80. So I guess tires don't really matter too much. You probably just want to run this out on fuel. Jonathan Delaney, Patrick Gitter, your leaders going down pit road.
All right, so leader's finally in, and even a little wobble there from the 21 car Patrick Gitter as he gets on pit road on the bottom of your screen there. And on the top, we have Lucas Hoytsman still on the screen getting around Alex Murray. So leaders are finally coming in on lap 47. And there's Dalton Mobley in the 77 Liberty U machine as well. Decides to bring his machine down for some pit road service here in stage 1. But yeah, look, tires are important here. Again, saving them to make sure that you have the pace you need at the end of the run. And look, that'll pay dividends for what the guys are learning here now as we got side by side on the top. Bobby Anderson in that 5 Toyota getting around the outside of Alex Murray, I believe.
Murray pit road too.
Yep, Murray is on pit road. Excuse me, that's not Alex Murray on the sorry, the pink banner there was throwing me off. So that's Tanner Marty in the 29 that he just got around his
look at this cluster cars.
A little bit of contact there as you see Kyle Ammon on pit road there. So Cody Colley, who's way off pace, but staying out of the way here, but causing a little bit of nervousness there as the guys were getting around them. So look, here's the risky part of the race here as the two elements come down. I saw tire smoke there getting on pit road. Into the pit barrels goes the 5 car. So Bobby Anderson unable to make it onto pit road. I saw some smoke in front of them. So everyone trying to be aggressive here on the green flag pit stop as we'll pull up 3-wide TV replay to see what happened here to the 5 car. So down on the bottom where he needs to be. Everything's looking good here, following his teammate here down. Well, not teammate anymore, but Dalton Mobley was already in the pit.
Yeah. What?
So he probably was on the brakes trying to avoid him, and once you lock those brakes, you're unable to turn the car, right? That's just physics. And
I thought I saw a different car than the 5. So when the camera cut to the 5, I was like, wait, that's not the color blue and red. Who was that? Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
that
multiple cars collected in the pit entrance sand barrels. No caution on the track, though. Dalton Mobley's already taken it behind the wall, so he is now out of the race. After the snafu there, as we watch Randy Drumhiller now in the 44 machine, who's running in the back, now brings it down pit road himself. I'm hearing Jeff Chandler in the 31 calling he's coming down to the pit road, his pit crew as well. You see the 62 exit. So business is picking up here in the pit cycle here. As Nolan Hodgson is taking the lead, but he comes down pit road, which will leave that to Wayne Grass, who now inherit the lead of the race.
And he's the last one too, Wayne Grass.
Yep, last holdout here is the number 3 machine, so banking on that caution to maybe get a slight tire advantage here at the end of stage 1. But so your virtual lead, your virtual podium on the road here is John Delaney, who should inherit the lead once Grass brings it down pit road. Gitter and Matt DiCiani, a big winner of the pit cycle, finds himself up currently in 4th, but again 3rd virtually on the road once we get the 3 car to pit, which he is now. So the 3 car has made it down on the apron. Looks like he's good to go, and that will complete our pit cycle. So back up front, Delaney, Gitter, DiCiani, Long, and Benefield will round out your top 5 here as they make their way around to the front stretch and get around the 3 machine of Wayne Grass that is now on pit road. Side-by-side action here on the top of the screen as we saw Adam Benefield and Matt Long here doing battle, and then the teammates here of the EPI boys are also swapping positions. So Matt DiCiani gets around Patrick Gitter, so he will move up into 2nd position. And this is your quad group here trying to chase down John Delaney, who has about a 1.6 second lead over this 4-car pack here that makes up your 2nd through 6th or 5th positions.
Excuse me, you caught me mid hiccup. I was going to start talking about how I was surprised about how many drivers are so kind of together-ish after green flag pit stops. Usually you see a lot of drivers kind of really separate themselves from everybody else, but we got a nice solid group of 4 cars here for this 2nd place spot. John Delaney has of course checked out, but he hasn't really checked out as much as I really expected him to, and his pit stop was a little bit slower compared to what we would normally be seeing from Delaney, who's usually around the late 14 seconds. Had a 50.15 second pit stop compared to some of the other drivers who were late into the 14 seconds, 14.8 to 14.9. So I was a little surprised at Jonathan Delaney not being able to really check out too much. And actually, since I started talking, it looks like Delaney's lead is actually shrinking too.
Yeah, but not only is it shrinking, look, the guys behind them are actually racing. I was thinking that Benefield, DeCiani, and Gitter were going to work together here, but they were side by side for about a whole lap there as he was trying to get around both of those guys. So, but the 83 machine has now completed all of those passes. He finds himself now in second position. Just taking a quick check here of the lap times. Yeah, John Delaney ran a 33.1 that, or excuse me, not a 33.1, 33.4 that last lap. So he gave up about a half a second to Adam Benefield, who was in traffic at the time. So assuming that's just tire save, but we will see as that gap continues to fall. Only about 7/10 of a second here from first to second. But you're absolutely right, though, Carlos. Look, I'm not going to lie. I was expecting a little less of what we got at Vegas, just based on what we saw last night in D2, where guys got pretty spread out amongst the field. So you saw a bunch of, 1 and 2 car battles. Everyone was maybe, half a tenth or a second back. As we got some more action here back in the field. It looks like is that the one machine of Dustin Hall? That is Van de Sant. So Dotson, Van de Sant, and Hoytsma are all doing battle here. Back in your 8th and 9th position. Again, these are for your stage points. So looks like 8th through 10th here is what we're watching. As Jim Schofield is making a move. So he wants some of those stage points as well. Looking to close down that gap in the Rookie of the Year standing. So he's quite a ways back from Andrew Dyson and Patrick Gitter in that Rookie of the Year. So looking to make up some ground there in these last few races of the season. But Adam Benefield has arrived on the scene, and behind John Delaney in the stant analyzer number 6, it looks like this would be a pretty done deal. I wouldn't expect Adam Benefield to take a whole lot of time the way he's closed down to get around John Delaney. And look, this is a night and day from what we saw from the Team Conti Machinery last night, who, although he did get a second place finish, did struggle quite a bit all race. Just talking to him in the post-race motor coach lot, Adam Benefield said he was throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, as we got side by side here for the lead. And as expected, the move is done before they hit the entrance of the turn. And the 83 is now your leader of the race on lap 58 of 267. Again, working to lap number 80 here for the end of stage 1. Again, a couple incidents we've had. The pit road issue. We had Andrew Dyson and the one car come together a little bit earlier, but no cautions thrown for cause. So Barney up on the flag stand, saying that the track is safe to keep racing, and racing we are. But here we are watching the battle here for number 2. Is an issue for Cody Colley there in front of the leaders.
He's just been a little bit slow. His car has not been set up to how he wanted. It's going to move up out of the way. So yeah, you mentioned we had that issue with the 1 and the 04. We also had the issue where the 41 unexpectedly went down pit road and has yet to leave it. This team is still working on it. Something's up maybe in real life that the 71 Jedi Taylor had to step away from, or wherever the case is. He is not on track right now, still on pit road. And then of course we saw the 77 and the 5 nearly at the same time make contact with that pit road wall separator. Unfortunately, the 77 did take that car to the garage, and looks like his night is done. However, the 5 is still out on track, has some front end damage, actually, albeit a little less than what I really expected. I think because he ran into the 77, it kind of worked out for him. But moving on to the 83 and the 6, I find it uncharacteristically for Jonathan Delaney to all of a sudden be slower than his competitors. So I do think he is saving tires and that type of strategy. And once he did that Benefield go by, he's probably gonna hang in right behind Benefield and then wait towards the end, maybe the last 5 to 10 laps with those hopefully fresher tires that he saved, and get around him. And that is probably gonna be the last time I have McDonald's before I do a broadcast, because it's just hiccups all around now.
Was that a fish fillet you had there, Carlos?
I did not have a fish fillet. I'm a little upset with the fish fillets. The last one I had was not really that fun for me. Yes, they did put the cheese, half a cheese in like between the box, and I'm done.
All right, no fish fillets. You're dead to me now, Carlos. But let's touch on a couple points that you made there. So the 5 car, importantly, after the incident there on the pit road with the 77, I did hear him come over the radio, not happy with the 77, obviously, and especially not with his, the 77 exited the session pretty quickly after that. So the 5 car was kind of a little upset that, hey, not even going to say anything after impacting the race of a playoff contender. So I expect some maybe a trip down to the 77 hauler after the race for Bobby Anderson. But as you mentioned, look, I don't think this is much about John Delaney. We've seen that he is not as, he had that awesome 2022 where he won the championship. So he is our defending champion. I think it's more about the EPI guys, right? I think, again, look, they were in the lab 12 hours before the race to turn around the performance that they saw last night against kind of in the dress rehearsal of the Division II series here at Homestead and 100%. So they have unloaded with a quite substantially better car, but a little back and forth on the radio between Adam Benefield. They're side by side. We're on the roof cam here of the 6 car. So actually kind of antagonizing each other, asking, hey, are we going to race or are we going to ride around? And the 6 saying, oh, no, we're going to race. And here he goes again to take back the lead. The 83 takes to the high side, try to get some momentum here on the exit of the corner, which he will get, and back to the old switcheroo here. So looks like racing is underway. We got about 15 left here in the stage. So definitely want that stage win, valuable playoff points here for folks tonight. I guess if they lock into the round of 4, that doesn't do them a whole lot of good here at Phoenix. But back again they go, switching back and forth on each other. The 6 car and the 83, tight racing. A lot of respect between these two. A lot of familiarities too. Look, they've been racing against each other for upwards of 3 years. Both of these guys are involved in the pro level of iRacing. So Adam Benefield, a longtime crew chief for, I think, Nick Ottinger in the Coke series, has switched to a spotter this year. I believe he actually might have moved to the 8 car as well. And John Delaney, who's currently on his journey in the Contender Series, so racing for those one of those bottom 20 spots in the Coke Series, and off to a very good start. I think he finished 15th in the first race. So John Delaney is well on his way to potentially being in the highest level of sim oval racing in the iRacing Coca-Cola Series. So but looks like that has died down as no more switcheroos. It looks like that has subsided, and John Delaney has decided, hey, let's get on with it. And he's pulled about a 10th. So a couple car links here on the 83 machine as we work lap 67 here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Not a lot has changed behind these guys. So third place is still Patrick Gitter, who was actually kind of is he driving up to them, in fact?
He's holding his own. Let's take a look.
Little time. So maybe the racing probably brought him a little. Yeah, racing probably brought him a little closer. But again, I would expect him to be on, if not the same machinery, but similar kind of car setup that the 83 machine is on. And we know Gitter was currently leading your Rookie of the Year standing, so on his way to claiming that 36 race championship here for best rookie this season. Has a race win as well under his belt. Here, as Adam Benefield has made his way back up to John Delaney, he will dive to the inside, and John Delaney will take to the Larson line to defend. And we will see if he's able to get that exit on the 83 machine in the Mordaunt Chevrolet here. And they're side by side. Nope, not quite. The key to that inside line and making it work is you got to drive in deep.
Dirty air.
And to the quarter panel of the 6 car. No contact. They continue the race here on lap 69. Nice. Of 267. Again, we're going another 10 laps or so here to the end of the stage. But momentum is gained by that 83 machine. So a lot of TV time here for both of these guys. Is back to the Larson line. That 6 car goes, and man, I can't express to all the folks here watching at home that maybe not used to the sim, as he cuts back again to the inside and tries to side draft the 83 to slow him down. He will do that down to the inside. The 6 car goes once again. But I can't just explain how difficult it is to consistently maintain as we switch to the gearbox. A little bit of contact here. So maybe trying to move that 6 machine out of the way. And a little chuckle over the radio from 83. So these guys are having fun here, racing each other hard but clean stuff here in 100% Cup Series at the Boats and Hose 400 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. It's a great name. It's a great name, Carlos. As he does pull the slide down.
Are these guys friends or enemies? Because I hear like they're either one or the other, and it really depends on what's going on in the week.
Well, it depends on what direction the wind is blowing. It does depend on the day of the week. It does alternate hour by hour of the frenemies here of the 6 car and the 83. Again, a hard-fought battle in 2022. A lot of hard racing in 2021. So again, these guys have been very familiar with each other. Obviously, no real bad blood there. Look, they're just a friendly, competitive rivalry here between the 83 and the 6 machine. As that all the switching around though has allowed the 21 car to get up. So now Adam Benefield potentially has backup as they work past Cody Colley. Will go another lap down here in the 46 machine. But so potentially some backup here for Adam Benefield again. I believe Patrick Gitter is on Team. Is not on Team Conti, but on EPI, but they are affiliated. So kind of a RFK and Wood Brothers.
Oh, Jonathan tagged the wall.
Oh, up into the wall he goes. That's definitely going to slow him down. And the 21 car is giving him plenty of room there. Might be able to get by here.
It was just a little kiss.
Yep. So didn't quite lose talent, but just spilled a little bit of the thermos of talent there in the 6 car again. So what I was saying earlier, but yeah, how difficult it is to be consistent to ride that top line. I mean, if your car sails just a little bit, as on the exit road, we saw the 41 there of Jason S. Taylor. So not sure what that was about. But that consistency, what you're seeing him do there, because again, you have to go in close to the wall. As it gets a little squirrely there on exit, is you have to ride the wall. But again, you can't let the car sail. I mean, you have no room for error. So if the car does get tight up into the wall, you go, you scrub speed, and back in the order you will go. So as the action here looks like it's subsided just a little bit, taking a look here back in the field. Looks like we got that second pack of Hoytsma, Murray, and Pearson are not quite as tight, but Pearson trying to work the top side here on Alex Murray, as your battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th is also going on behind this, as John Delaney now clears again Patrick Gitter. So unable to hold that position up, but here it is. Here's the battle I was talking about for that 5th position here at the end of the stage. So 5 laps to go here, as the Project eSports machine of Alex Murray in the 22 battling the Dirty South affiliated 62 of Neil Pearson, I'll say. So, but again, one of our Australian competitors. So obviously he wants to give Alex a lot of room here in racing hard but clean, as he will slide up in front of that 22 machine, and he will occupy 5th position for now, as they're both chasing this 07 machine, the white and gold machine of Lucas Hoytsma. So Lukey Bear having another good run tonight, and Mr. Consistency is kind of taking over that mantle from Kevin Stills. We check back in on the lead with about 3 laps to go here in the stage. Adam Benefield is still your race leader, followed closely by less than a tenth by John Delaney, as John's going to follow him up top, potentially trying to put the move on Adam Benefield. I think he's going to give him a little bit of that chrome horn here in a second to make sure you get by him, but you got to time it right. As always, if you're going to move a guy out of the way, you got to make sure he can't get back to you before you get to that green and white checkered flag at the end of the stage. So I'm sure he'll be timing that just right, but looks to have the 83's numbers. They're going to come up on more lap traffic here, though, so that's going to play a bit of havoc here at the end of the stage, as we're on lap 78 of 267, again working to lap 80 at the end of your stage number 1. And this battle for the lead is raging on. I believe that Cody Colley again. He's going to get ducked to the bottom and get out of the way. Wow, he's got to be.
He was just in pit road 2.
4 laps. Yeah, he is 4 laps down. So yeah, something definitely off with the 46 machine here of Cody Colley. He's just not having the night, the debut he wanted here. As yet, he will get out of the way or not get out of the way. What is he doing? Pretty sure that's not what you want to see there.
That's going to hurt Delaney.
Oh, yeah, he's on the top lane. So the 46 car, yep, influencing here at the end of the stage. But here we are, with 2 laps to go. Pit road has closed here in the stage. So we are going to the green and white checkered. And looks like Adam Delaney not able to make an impression here on the 83 car. So maybe looks like Adam Benefield has saved just enough performance. But they probably will catch the 44, or maybe not. They might not get the 44 here with Randy Drumhill, but he is going to be feeling that dirty air. Once you're within about a second of the car in front, that is where the aero effects will come into play. For these cars, you'll be a little bit tighter than you were if you were in clean air. But not only that, but the attack is not on for Benefield. Look, Delaney has other problems. He's got to worry about the 21 car of Patrick Gitter, who will make the move here, coming to the end of stage 1, working on your lap 80. So the green and white checkered flag will fly once 10th place crosses the line. And will he be able to get him? He will not pull off the slide move. So it looks like Delaney, as they drag race the line, couldn't tell who that was, but Adam Benefield is your stage 1 winner. Looks like Delaney may have been able to keep that position away from Gitter, followed by Lucas Hoytsma. And there goes Pearson in your second group here, as the caution now flies at the end of stage 1. So your top 10 cars are Benefield, Delaney, Gitter, Hoytsma, and Pearson rounding out your top 5. Murray, DeCiani, Schofield, Hodgson, and Long will get the bottom 5 there, and that will round out your stage points winners here. So 5 guys in the playoffs in the round of 8, securing those much-needed stage points. Delaney, Gitter, Hoytsma, Murray, and DeCiani. So their nights going according to plan. And we got a bunch of guys whose nights are not going to plan. So we talked about 5 machine. Robert Anderson, who was not able to stay on the lead lap, but looks like he should be your lucky dog here, the first car a lap down. So good on Robert Anderson. So he can get some damage repaired here in that 5 Kellogg's machine here. And perhaps turn his race around after that snafu on pit road with the 77. So we'll look for him to see if he can get that done. We'll let the guys here get their pit stops here organized, and once they drop the jacks, let's see. We'll grab someone we want to talk to. Maybe we'll just grab Anderson and see what the deal was as he saw it coming to pit road here.
I would definitely be interested in seeing that. I'm also curious because he said he's upset with the 77, but it seemed like, to me, from the limited point of view I had, it kind of seemed like the 5 was going to smash into where the 77 was, regardless if he was there or not. Now, if the 77 being there made Robert Anderson think that a caution would have come out, so he tried to move out too late. I don't know what. I want to hear his point of view and why he's upset with the 77.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hear it from the man himself as the jacks will drop on pit road. So the entire field coming down to get tires and repairs for their machines. And let's go ahead and grab the 5 car and get his perspective on that incident with the 77 and coming to pit road here. Bobby Anderson's to Mars in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, man, I'm here. Sorry.
No worries. So, man, we wanted to get your perspective. So we saw the issue getting on the pit road on the green flag cycle there about halfway through stage 1. It looks like the 77 had some trouble in front of you, and it looks like as you were trying to get on pit road that I don't know, maybe you locked the brakes up and then you couldn't get to pit road, or maybe you're trying to get back on the racing surface, maybe anticipating the caution. So just want to get your perspective, man. What did you see coming on the pit road there for that green flag cycle?
I was getting in a little hot, but I was going to make it, or at least I felt like I was, until he spun right in front of me, and then I just had nowhere to go. So I didn't even know who it was, but I guess whoever it was just kind of left right after. So a little upsetting. I mean, the car was running well. They're saying all the damage is repairable. We'll see. I still got about 50 seconds, but I was making some moves. I felt like I was hanging up front.
Yeah, it definitely looks strong. I mean, it was unfortunate to see that. So good to know that we're always worried about required repairs and, the damage you have to get fixed there. So it looks like you had about 50 seconds left. So hopefully you are able to keep pace here with the field. You were the lucky dog, looks like. So you're back on the lead lap. And your race is, all to play for here in stage 2. So with how the car feels, and I guess what you've been able to kind of diagnose so far, you think you're able to drive back up to where you were and compete back here for stage points?
Yeah, I mean, if I can get the car fully fixed, it's running really well. So just put me down as one of your ones to watch in stage 3.
We will do. So hopefully that Toyota is able to capitalize and make a better run here after the issue you experienced. So good luck on the rest of your night. Maybe we're talking to you a little bit later, man. Good luck on your race.
Thanks, bud.
So there you have it. So, a theme that we did see there, Carlos, was looks like the 5 cars are going to come back down and try to get some more damage fixed there before we go green. Look, a lot of guys were smoking it on the pit road. So, you're not required to use, Homestead-Miami has the entrance and kind of exit roads onto the pit racing surface. So they have kind of those escape roads. So on entry, you don't have to use kind of that infield road.
The access road, yeah.
So the access road. So what that means is, though, when you're coming off turn 4, I mean, you are hauling because you're, unlike, say, like a Las Vegas or Kansas or even a Charlotte where you kind of have to make a final turn there. You're almost lined up straight as you're coming off for the Homestead pit road, but you are carrying a lot of speed, and you got to get it down to, I believe, the pit road speed limit is about 50 there. So you got to get it way woed up. The transitions are not as rough, but the grip is pretty low here at Homestead.
It's sandy,
so
yeah. They're stand everywhere.
Yeah, so yeah,
you do
exactly.
have to take the access road when you leave pit road at all times. But I also remember iRacing, you used to have to race in the access road to go down pit road. So I remember those times. I've seen championship drivers lose out on a title because they blew the access road.
Yep. So no longer do we have to do that. Lights out on the pace car. It'll duck down off the racing service. We are back under the control of the 6 machine, and he is away on the front stretch at the Boats and Hose 400 here in the 100% Cup Series. He will move over to the top line, and we will get stage 2 underway 2 by 2 all the way back through the field here. As Bobby Anderson looks like he was unable to make it back to the field after getting some repairs on pit road. So he's going to have to fight to stay on the lead lap here and make his way back towards the tail end of the field. But anyway, back to the front. We're watching Lucas Hoytsman here and Neil Pearson in the 62. This is your battle after the restart for the 5th position. So they will settle in here. So Neil Pearson will let the 07 go. And look who we have here up front in 7th position. Nolan Hodson having another good run in that 12 Brandt car. So looks like he's put together a couple good races here after Las Vegas. So the intermediate program for the 12 car, who is now a privateer here in the series, a former DGR driver, and unfortunately had an unamicable split when it came to contract and extension time, and both of those groups parting ways. So Nolan Hodson all on his lonesome here with very little support, and looks to be running a little bit better now that he's left the team, quite honestly. So interested to see what he's doing for his engineering support. As we look a little bit further in the field, see Wayne Grass, Kyle Ammon, and Dustin Hall, who was briefly your race leader up there and ran up front, is now, because I have my
13th
position covered up with, yep. So 13th position. Sorry, I have my Discord covering up my little overlay here. But so yeah, a little bit further back in the field. Again, we did observe that maybe 15 laps to the run, car maybe not handling to his liking. So he's had a chance to come down with the stage break, come down and make an adjustment or two to perhaps shore that up, and maybe we will see that one car, so that Mardon red PC Chevrolet back up front shortly. But also filed out here from front to the midfield. Looks like not as much action. So we are starting off as we did in stage 1, Carlos, in tire save mode.
And I do apologize. I forgot to update the information to now it showing into stage 2. Stage 2 will end on lap number. Excuse me. Why is that? Lap number 165 at the end of end of 165. I do gotta say, I found it a little interesting that Adam Benefield lost 2 spots in pit road. Jonathan Delaney, who was your pole sitter, so he's got that number 1 pit stop, going to be easier for him to just speed right on out and get that advantage. So he's going to have that working for him all night. But Gitter did get past Benefield, so I found it shocking that he lost that 2nd spot.
Yeah, again, maybe making more adjustments on the car. So that will, things that will make your pit stop a little longer. So the limiting factor will be the fuel if you're going to fill it up. Which you don't necessarily have to do. Again, you should have, we didn't really talk about it tonight, but while we kind of have a lull in the action. So same thing as Las Vegas. The fuel window is about 65 laps is what you want to push that to. Maybe you can eke out, if you're in super saver mode, to maybe get 66, 67 laps out of the fuel tank. I wouldn't expect, just because of the tire degradation, that anybody really does that. We'll see in stage 3, because that's where that would be used if that math works out, or if we get a caution time just right. So I would expect, again, stage 2 to be kind of split same way we had stage 1. But as you mentioned, look, the guys were in a little long, Carlos, so not exactly wanting to take advantage of that short pit cycle. I didn't really keep up where Carl Dodson ended up. I know he's one of the earlier ones to come down on 35, 36. As we watch Neil Pearson try to work underneath Alex Murray here in the 22 machine. So he will get to the quarter panel of the Project eSports machine. And with fresh tires, you are able to get the exit you need to continue a pass just like this. We saw guys struggle with that later in the run, where you, again, take away the top side. It's kind of harder to get the power down without spinning the wheels. So he will take that position away from Alex Murray. In the battle for the front here, 63 and 83 are back at it again. We could see this for a whole. They could be doing this for the whole 400 miles here, Carlos. These two.
Did you say 63?
83. I say 63.
You said 63 and 83.
Yep, 6 car and 83 machine. So John Laney and Adam Benefield. So apologies again, my mouth moving quicker than my brain can move. But they could be at this for all 400 miles here tonight. Looks like they're in pretty even machinery, and they will have both learned their strengths and weaknesses, right? So they've seen kind of what they have to offer, so how much of their hand they've showed on the log run. So, so Adam Benefield's on the radio, commenting me on my commentary skills. Thank you, Adam. Always appreciate that. But we watched Lucas Hoytsma work here in the fourth position, staring at the back of Patrick Bitter's machine here in the race EPI Chevrolet. As we continue to be all single file out here in the field. So it looks like all the way back. I want to just take a second to look back. So we do have the two cars that had trouble earlier in the race. So the 04 and the 5 are well off the field. Looks like the 5 is actually catching the 04. So they're several seconds back from the field here. So they're about 15, 20 seconds back. Because, yep, we can see the 04 machine who had that unfortunate incident in stage 1 with the 1 machine as they kind of came together on the exit of turn 3. He slid to the inside wall and had to fix some damage. So he is currently
6 laps
running,
down.
Yep, 6 laps down for the 04 machine. So I think it was 7 laps down. So he may have took the way around, maybe in a little tires if that might be. So
I have a question for you.
Trying to work his laps back for the 04 machine. Shoot, Carlos, what you got?
So you mentioned during pit stops making adjustments. You talked about how you don't necessarily have to take a full fuel run, maybe change the balance of the vehicle a little bit. But what other options do these drivers have without going to the garage that they can work on?
Yeah, certainly. So several adjustments you can make to the car. Obviously, we have all 4 tires and tire pressures. And with these Gen 7 cars, that's critical to kind of change the aero platform, as now we have the ground the ground effect cars and the underbodies of these machines. So you can use any 4 corners of tire pressure kind of raise slightly. It's kind of more of a dynamic change, right? Because obviously that will, as you put more heat into the tires, they will gain air pressure. So it's more of a dynamic change if you're feeling your car kind of change throughout the run, or maybe it's changing the way you don't want. It's kind of basic, similar to how you can use springs. If you need some, a little bit different feel on entry and exit, you can, on entry, you can kind of mess with your left front. If you need a little bit of rotation on your car, you can put some air in the, put an extra half pound or pound up in the right rear. And same thing, if you're a little tight on exit, right, you can adjust that left rear tire pressure. So you can also change your perch spring. So just how the car sits, that of itself. So you have about, I think something like 3 degrees or 3 inches of kind of a change that iRacing will allow you to make. Again, that's just how you can change at what level your right and left corners will sit on the racetrack. And again, you're doing that to adjust handling. That's really about all you have. You can also, obviously you can combine some of those adjustments to get the desired effect. So that's when we say adjustments, that's what the guys are doing, right? This is an open setup league, which means before you get to the race, just like the real full metal NASCAR guys, they got engineers and spotters,
caution,
and test drivers, and caution on the track. I didn't see anything.
I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, and that looks like a stage alert. Did I mistype the? Oh, yep, I did.
Was that you?
Yeah, it looks like I typed in the wrong lap here. All right, stand by. Let me get with the guys and get this fixed here, Carlos.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So, unfortunately, it looks like we had a light malfunction where the caution lights turned on for about half a lap. Some of the drivers were starting to slow down, and so the officials decided, well, we may as well just throw out a caution to make sure that nobody really loses out on any important information, getting word from race control that anybody that did get past during that period will get their position right on back. So I'm not really saying anything, but while everybody gets checked up and race control is kind of explaining what's going on and where the drivers are going to be, I got a YouTube chat, Kobe Whipple asking what the current playoff situation goes like. We don't have the actual up-to-date playoff information, the driver standings, but we do have it before tonight's race began. I did have it up on the screen for a little bit, but it did not get actually mentioned while it was up. So while it's up, Jonathan Delaney comes into Homestead here with a plus 32 advantage. He's looking pretty good for the playoffs, for the round of 4. Patrick Gitter, Andrew Dyson, Lucas Hoitzma are your current drivers in. And then you have Alex Murray, Matt DiGianni, Bobby Anderson, and Robert Miller, who Matt DiGianni, Bobby Anderson, and Robert Miller pretty much need to win a race, and in Robert's case, since he is not in this week, win next week to advance into the round of 4 at Phoenix. But Alex Murray has a realistic chance of pointing his way back in. He's only 2 spots out from Lucas Hoitzma and Andrew Dyson, who is only who's 3 spots ahead of the cutoff line, 1 spot ahead of 4th place Lucas Hoitzma, and Patrick Gitter, who's 4 spots ahead of the cutoff line and 2 positions ahead of Lucas Hoitzma. So 2nd through 5th are pretty much up for grabs. You can rearrange them however you want, because any one of these drivers could have a breakout night, and any one of these drivers could have an unfortunate night for them. But we may have pit stops coming on in here, as taking a look to see. No, nobody's going down. It looks like everything is still getting situated. But with 100 laps into this race, Benefield and Delaney, clearly the class of the field. Gitter is consistently running in 3rd place. He does have that advantage of him being consistent and being there, and we've already seen Benefield and Delaney kind of duking it out, dogfighting for multiple laps that has allowed Gitter to get right onto the back bumper of that battle, so you can't really count him out. Hoitzma, Pearson, Murray, all the guys behind him, they just do not seem to have or match the same type of pace that we are seeing from everybody else. So that's going to do it for that little recap. Let's go on over and explain kind of the drivers who unfortunately got who has run into some bad luck or is out of this race, starting with the 77 of Dalton Mobley, who is currently in 24th and last. He took his car straight to the garage during the first green flag pit stop scenario. He kind of went a little hot and smacked that inside barrier. We're actually going to pass right up on in here if I can get a separate camera angle. I don't think I might. He went in and hit right over here to the right there. And at the same time, the 5 of Bobby Anderson was kind of following. I'm not quite sure exactly what was going on. He had the speed. On his interview, he claimed that he would have been able to make it. But because the 77 spun out, it either threw him off or made it so that Bobby Anderson lost the angle of attack he needed to, ran right into him and had significant damage. He is back on the lead lap, and with that caution, it is going to help him because he was over 13 seconds back after he was trying to repair around 50 seconds worth of damage. He should still have 20 or so more seconds left to repair, so he'll be looking to take care of that once everybody goes down Pear Road, maybe this time by or at the end of the stage break. So him and the 77 had some contact. Jedi Taylor, we still don't quite know what happened. He is on track, but during the green flag pit stops, he went down pit road and just stayed there for about 40 or so minutes, multiple laps down, and his race is pretty much is done. As he's 35 laps down, Jedi Taylor is in the 41. Unsure why he went down pit road, but he was there for quite a while. Andrew Dyson, we saw made contact with the outside, made contact with the one as green flag is out, hit the inside wall heavily and went about 4 laps down. He looks, I think he gained, I think he lost 1 lap since, and he is still trying to get a couple more laps back. But we are green flag racing. It was a single file restart. Let's see, is Damaris, I told him, I told them that unfortunately race control accidentally turned on the caution laps for about half a lap before they realized what was going on and ended up throwing out the caution.
Yep, so mistake on my end. So the software, I'm using an older version, and when you do it through the GUI, when you put in a triple-digit number, it just defaults to 100, which I know and just completely forgot. So on me. So apologize for the guys. Had to run next door to the race control booth real quick, reprogram, and then run back here to the broadcast booth. So single file restart, so everyone keeps their position about where they were running. So pit road was closed for that pit cycle. So we should be back on track where we left off, back under green flag action. So the only thing that would have changed there is everyone would have got about 4 laps or a few laps of fuel. So they do have the option to go a little bit longer in the stage if they so choose. But we're back side by side already as John Delaney gives a little bit of a love tap to the 83 machine. And John Delaney is going to slide. Nope, he's going to stay on the bottom and now slide up in front of the 83. But the 21 as well is now in front of Adam Benefield. So 2 spots lost there for the 83 as John Delaney leads out front here on lap 107 as the guys look to get back underway here. So again, we should be all good here. So going to the end of stage 2, which will be 165, I promise. Once 10th place crosses the line, then we'll throw the stage caution. So still no cautions for cause here, I believe, right? Because we didn't have any caution in stage 1. So minus that little debris caution there, the AMR safety team had to go pick up, and I'm using air quotes. You can't see here some carbon fiber or something on the back there. Yeah, just a little bit of door foam, That's all. Had to get that off the track. You never know, man. Hey, it brought down the challenge.
It looks shiny, all right. It looks shiny.
Yeah, there you go. Definitely wasn't duct tape. Definitely was not duct tape we picked up on the back stretch. So as we look a little bit further in the field, so single filed out as the guys try to get racing here. We see the 1 car of Dustin Hall, who is working the top side here behind Wayne Grass in the 3 machine of that Leo Pennzoil number machines. We look a little bit further up here and see the 4 of Matt DiCiani working against here Nolan Hodson in the 12 machine. So looking at your kind of mid-pack battles here, as that was DiCiani and Nolan Hodson are 7th and 8th. As we look a little bit further up, as back underneath Patrick Gator goes the 83 machine of Adam Benefield and the Mardon Chevrolet. Going to be able to pull that move off pretty easy. So again, the guys will still be in tire save mode. Again, just extending kind of the fight out about 4 laps here. So again, about 40 or so laps into the stage, maybe 50 based on if trends like stage 1 is where we'll see the guys probably look to come in and come to their pit road for service and any adjustments there. So
question for you.
Yeah, shoot.
I know you mentioned that pit road was closed. Nobody was allowed to service their vehicle. But were any free passes issued, or did nobody gain a lap at all?
Yep. So when that happens, and we have the erroneous caution like that, which that'll happen maybe 3 or 4 times a year. As you watch Jim Schofield now work in the top side there, trying to get around, make some gains there on the 25 of Kyle Ammon and another yellow machine. So yeah, when we get erroneous cautions like that, what happens a few times a year, Lucky Dog will still be in play. So Lucky Dog can get the lap back. So because it is an issue with race control. So they get to get out of jail free card, and the same thing with any waiver rounds at the time. So if anybody happened to be in front of the leader, because again, since pit road is closed, you really can't cycle to the front. But if that were to happen, then yep, if you are about to go a lap down and maybe got picked up by the pace car, then yes, you get your lap back and you're back around to the end of the field. So didn't quite see who got the lucky dog there. I did call on the radio that whoever got the lucky could go. So I don't know if that was maybe Cody Colley got one of his laps back. Because I do see him 4 laps down. I do believe he was around 5, so he might have been.
Yeah, I think that was him.
Yep. So,
what's up with Carl Dodson?
Yeah,
something is going on with him, because he was a bit further back in the field, but he wasn't 20th, multiple seconds back from the rest of the drivers. So something's going on with Carl Dodson's vehicle right now.
33.98. So that looks to be maybe he is opted to save a set of tires, or he has made an adjustment that's gone terribly wrong. As you watch the 29 machine there of Tanner Marty on screen and back to the front. So yeah, his last lap 33.98. Not what you want to run. The leaders up front are running 33.22s. So right now, as we sit, Carl Dodson's losing about half a second every single lap. So maybe that's what it is. I'm pretty sure he pit, so hopefully he did take tires. Again, maybe just an adjustment going awry. Again, I know talking to Carl before the race, again, wanted to adjust strategy. As you watch Neil Pearson work under Lucas Hoitzman in the 07 machine, is 22 of Alex Murray waits in the wings. So they're door to door coming off of, I believe this is turn number 3. Nope, turn number 2. Yep, as they come off from battle, unable to make the move, so Neil Pearson will file back in behind the 07 machine, and the 22 takes a peek under the 62, thinks better of it. Will sit behind, but he is right there at the bumper of the 62 machine of Neil Pearson. This here is your battle for the 5th position here on track on lap 116 of the Boats and Hose 400. Shout out to the Miami community. Go out there and get your yacht party if you can find it. I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find some pictures of Instagram on Carlos tomorrow on a couple yachts there on the lake. If you're lucky, Carlos, even some hoes maybe. So anyway, as we watch Matt DeCiani and Nolan Hodson here, as again more battles here in the top 10 as they're trying to make some ground. Oh, and Nolan Hodson gets a little close to the wall there as he's coming off, so maybe a little tight behind the 4 machine. Again, aero effects are in full play here at the intermediate with the Gen 7 package. So again, clean air is the name of the game. Saving tires is what you want to do towards the end of the stage and around the pit cycle, so you can pull off your undercuts, overcuts, or pit strategy, and perhaps make a couple positions off the road instead of having to do it the hard way on this progressive banking of 18 and 22 degrees at Homestead-Miami Speedway. As we get a look here at I believe this is the 22 car.
Yep, Alex Murray.
Okay. Yeah, this car always throws me off, Carlos, because it looks so much like Dalton Mobley, I believe early in the season, used to run a Dallas Mavericks car. So when I see this color scheme, I think 77, even though I know he's already behind the wall now the race, but so it's always a little confusing before I get a name on the screen. Yeah, am I looking at the 22 or am I looking at the 77 throwback here?
Yeah, well, right now we're looking at pretty much all the drivers on the lead lap, and then up ahead is, of course, rookie driver. Excuse me, I got hiccups again. Cody Colley, who is just still not able to get the balance of the vehicle he needs. Was he participating last night? How was his race, if he was?
I don't recall if he was there last night for D2, but I do, obviously, so he's gone through quite a few D2 races, and I mean, looked fine. Wasn't really sure of the pace. Again, we got a pretty good strength of field here on Saturdays in the 100% Cup Series. Again, a lot of these guys, if they are not racing in the top level of professional esports, they are associated with professional esports teams. So the guys you're seeing here, a lot of the test drivers, a lot of the spotters, a lot of engineers, a lot of the setup builders for those various organizations, who some also have a affiliation with some of the NASCAR teams as they build up their esports team. So hearing some issues on the radio with Carl Dotson, not happy with somebody saying he has a meatball flag.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yep. So
He
maybe
sure
a
does.
little bit of wall contact maybe with the two cars. He spins coming into the pit entry. Are we going to stay green? Looks like he tried to do a quick Alt F4, so behind the wall, or not behind the wall quite yet. We'll see if he stays in the session, but we'll fast jet to his pit stall with a virtual tow truck. So we stay green here on lap 121.
Oh, I see what happened.
Yep, John Lady puts a little bit of distance between Adam Benefield, so about 3 tenths back. So he has a few car lengths on the machine.
Here's a replay.
Get your 3-wide multicam replay, and contact from the 04 machine of Andrew Dyson. Kind of shocked they were even anywhere close on the track. I know Dyson is still trying to work his way back. He's 7 laps down. But that gave him a meatball flag?
Yeah, sure did. It ripped the fender and everything. Let's go ahead at full speed.
So that maybe a toe link? Yeah, maybe a toe link. You see
how hard that was.
Pretty hard. Yeah, that's suspension. That's probably
now that's the debris. The caution should have been for.
Saw some of that composite body fly off of the 2 machine. So yeah, he's not going to be happy with that. Not quite sure what caused that. If Andrew didn't see him, or if it doesn't.
Well,
sound like,
it kind of seemed. It kind of seemed like it wasn't really that Dyson did anything wrong. It's just that Dyson took the corner like normal, but Dotson, because of maybe his older tires or whatever might be going wrong with the car, like backed off way earlier than anybody would have expected, and with the 04 kind of holding his line and Dyson not really moving around too much, they unfortunately made contact. As that's unfortunate case for both of them, because they now have damage specifically for the number 2 of Carl Dodson.
Yeah, well, more importantly, though, that's two things that have gone wrong for the 04 of Andrew Dyson, who was looking pretty strong here in the round of 8. But after the night, that's kind of falling apart here for the 04 machine. So, again, once getting into it with the one car of Dustin Hall there off of turn 2, and now, quite a ways back behind the field, is unable to navigate around the 2 machine, who is, we do know, is a little bit off pace. I would have expected that Andrew might be a little bit off pace as well, but guess not, as he found that gearbox in the rear end of the number 2 machine of Carl Dodson, who was unable to kind of successfully get down pit road after that incident and had to do a quick tow to the pit. So unfortunate for the 04, unfortunate for the 2 machine, as 2 machines now 5 laps down. So I believe his contention, and again coming in trying to set himself up for the end of the race, that's kind of all over for him. As we check back in on your 4th place battle here, as Alex Murray is all over the rear end of the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter, trying to take that away from him. So these are 2 playoff contenders in the round of 8. Gitter and Murray trying to secure a good finish tonight and get some more of those stage points as they try to punch their ticket into the championship 4, and they can focus on Phoenix and not have to worry about the chaos that is sure to ensue at Martinsville. The 83 machine on the radio is going to let by the 07, so hand out the window for Lucas Hoitzma, as he is showing some strength here in stage 2. So a new player to the top 2. The 6 and 83 have been running kind of nose to tail all race, but the 07 has figured something out here and has a little bit more pace. Maybe has something for the 6 car, so he'll take up the chase to see if he can get up to P1 as Adam Benfield falls in behind him.
I want to point out that Dodson took his car to pit road, was able to clear the meatball flag, but unfortunately, he didn't even get back out on track. He just went straight to the garage once he cleared, and Dustin Hall, cloud of smoke going down pit road. Maybe one of the first ones in this green flag pit stop.
Yep, Dustin Hall is down, so from toward the rear of the field, so he's your first taker on lap 128 to come down pit road and maybe have to try to make up a couple spots on the pit cycle with the fresher tires. Everyone will run on the older tires, so this will be quite a bit at the beginning of the run. But again, he will suffer as we get closer to the end of the stage on 165. Again, working to the end of stage 2 here. So he's going to have about 35 laps or so on this next set of tires, which again, so with the debris caution we had earlier, we're going to push out that expected pit window from probably what we saw in stage 1. So your first taker, Dustin Hall, a little bit early down the pit road for the 1 machine, as we watch Lucas Hoitzma, who has walked up to the back in the rear end of the stint analyzer number 6, piloted by John Delaney.
Oh, wow, it's grippier. Yeah. We saw Delaney hit the gas earlier than Hoitzma did, but when Hoitzma was able to hit the gas, he was able to turn it in deeper and harsher, I should say.
Yep, absolutely. And look, Lucas Hoitzma definitely knows what to do up front here. So maybe the track going a different way, or the weather going a different way from the 6 and the 83, because they seem to be both having similar issues there, just based on what I'm seeing here on screen. So Lucas Hoitzma now trying to go to the front of the field, lead a couple laps here for the Loudmouth Motorsports team, and hopefully gain some much needed points here. As we can see on the screen, track temp and some weather details there. Thank you, Carlos. Appreciate that. So looks like 60% humidity, partly cloudy day here. Track temp is 91 degrees Fahrenheit and ambient is 81. So we'll keep an eye on that as we progress through the races. We continue side by side for P1, the 07 machine, trying to take it away on the bottom side from the 6 car. And he will go up top to rip the boards to see if he can defend from the 07. So he's going to take away that exit of the 7. But as you mentioned, Carlos, he does appear to have the grip. But not the momentum, as John Delaney will continue to defend. So side by side we go, as the 07 will try to get that momentum to pull off the slide job. But while they're doing that, look who's getting closer. The 83 is back on schedule and back trying to fight for P1. So player 3 has entered the game, and maybe Adam Benefield can get a 2-for-1 here if this all goes awry for the 2 up front.
I think Delaney may have scraped the wall yet again, just a little bit. These aren't damage. These aren't like hits that would over time like affect the vehicle. It's just a tiny little kiss. You're gonna scrape the paint off a little, but it did slow him down enough where Hoitzma was able to clear him on the inside and not really be able to put a threat with the momentum on the outside that Delaney could have done. But now we have a couple more drivers going down pit road. I think Cody Coley is in down pit road again, just having himself an off night for his debut. I probably missed the setup or something's going, because you don't just get approved for this lead to kind of run this far back. So something must have gone wrong in the setup. Or maybe he damaged his vehicle very early on that we just didn't catch. As Benefield is in pit road, the first of the top drivers.
Yep, so pitting from your third position, Adam Benefield. So this will certainly, I would expect, pull a lot of that top 10 down pit road. So they'll be keeping an eye on this. So we saw the one car who went early as well. So Dustin Hall was your first to make it on the pit road to try to undercut and make up some spots on the pit cycle. The 83 looks like he's following suit. So one of your first top 10 to come down pit road. So that is sure to have Hoytsma and Delaney picking it up. As expected, Delaney, the number 6 car, is now on pit road, followed by Patrick Gitter. So here we go. The cycle kicks off, and Alex Murray, it looks like the entire top 5 comes in immediately to respond to Adam Benefield to make sure he doesn't get away with a couple laps of fresh tires. As we watch up top on your 3-wide multicam screen here, we're watching the 3 car of Wayne Grass, who stayed out your last pit cycle, led a lap or 2, going long, hoping for a caution. We'll see if he continues to do that, if that will be the strat here for the 3 car, currently running in the 12th position. As we cut to another battle, as Neil Pearson now onto pit road. As we watch up top, Nolan Hodgson doing battle with Jim Schofield. These two have been tied together all race, so I expect this will go all the way to the line, as we have 132 laps to go in this race, but not before we hit lap 165, and that green and white checkered as flown is over. The battle off of pit road is very close, as the 4 car looks like he's all over the machine right there in front of him. So guys are trying to make all kind of time. You don't want to lose time on entry. You saw guys smoking the entry here at Homestead-Miami Speedway, trying to get on, and Jim Schofield has an issue, and teammates collide as they try into the sand barrels. The 47 goes, but not before he impacts the 97 of, I believe that's Matt Long, and Alex Vincent now arrives on the scene. So that low grip and the marbles and debris down there causing all kind of trouble tonight for guys trying to get on the pit road. Yep, damage on the 47. So rule number 1 of racing is don't take out your teammate. And unfortunately, maybe the big boss man is going to have a word with his drivers about not taking each other out. That's a
critical part too.
Yeah, as we see Nolan Hodgson inherits the lead, and you see the original top 3 coming to unlap themselves as we wait for the pit cycle to complete. So the 12 car out front is going to lead a few laps here, but you can see the difference in the pace on those old tires. These guys are driving right by you, and you will have to come pay this bill when you come down pit road if you're the 12 car. So you will lose this time plus more. Staying out a couple more laps, you will lose up to a second a lap. And you can just tack that on to the end of the total time on pit road, as Lucas Hoytsman now goes around the 12 car up front. As we also have SOBJ, Sean O'Brien Jr. comes down pit road as well. We have, looks like it's 31, Jeff Chandler also on pit road. So that's silver and pink machine. I believe it's the Don Wheaton car he's usually running. So anyway, Hodgson out front gambling. Again, Hodgson not in your playoffs. Again, you can tell the 100% round of 8 playoff drivers, they are highlighted in the red ribbon on the left side of your ticket here. So that's how you can tell those. And on the camera, you will see them with the red spoiler splitter.
Drummond overshot it.
Looks like 44. It looks like he overshot just a little bit into the box of the 3, so he had to put it in reverse. So he'll lose about a second or 2 as the pit crew had to adjust to get him back off the track, as Kyle Ammon kind of rolls off pit road as well in the 25 mellow yellow machine. Nolan Hodgson still out front. Another hold out we have is Bobby Anderson in the 5 Frosted Flakes machine. So that lone Toyota now running in second place. Again, he also ran into a little bit of trouble trying to get on pit road in stage 1. So trying to, the recovery drive is on for Bobby Anderson as he's trying to secure some points here tonight and potentially some stage points. As we see Nolan Hodgson coming down pit road, and he is able to do it cleanly on the bottom of the screen of 3 wide.
I don't know if I call it cleanly. The guy behind him didn't see him and had to shoot up all the way. I think they made some slight contact. You might see some rear end damage there. But wow, that was close to being a catastrophe going down pit road.
Oh yeah, well, good on the guys to avoid that, especially if you're trying to come down the pit road. As we've seen, you're super vulnerable. As I hear the 5 car hand out the window for him, so he will try to come down pit road. So he'll have to work his way to the inside of the track.
But he's not inside.
Down. Yep, looks like he's a little bit high. Doesn't have anybody around him. Probably be a little more cautious this time on the pit road. He is, and able to make it on safely as he rides down the right side of pit road to the attention of his pit crew. So that should cycle us out. Your virtual leader, John Delaney, when he comes back on the front stretch, will inherit the race lead again. And look who's on his rear end, Carlos. It's that 83 machine again of Adam Benefield. Right back where we left off. Part 3 of the saga continues as they continue the battle for 1 and 2 here.
But here's the interesting part. We saw Adam Benefield went down 1 lap earlier than Jonathan Delaney. That did help him because Adam Benefield did get the lead. He was able to go get past Delaney while they were still cycling. He did get ahead of him before Delaney did fully get back up to speed on track. So there was a bit of a gap, I think over a second, but Delaney has not only closed up that gap, but actually retaken the lead. So Delaney's vehicle strong at this point of the race, and it'd be scary if this vehicle is set up for the night or the late afternoon, early night cycle of this race, because it's really strong right now.
Yep, and Cody Colley looks like he's taking his machine behind the wall, so he is done for the night. But if we just look a little bit further back, so your 3rd through 5th position there, so Gitter, Murray, and Hoytsma, they're also locked together as they've been all race. Again, Hoytsma kind of worked his way up to 2nd place, so lost a little bit here on the pit cycle as he finds himself back in the 5th position behind Patrick Gitter and Alex Murray. But these 3 have also been locked together, and look who's waiting in the wings there, trying to hold on to him in that slipstream, is Neil Pearson, who I was expecting to see up front along with the 04 car, but we know the issues that the 04 machine has run into tonight. Had a very good run last night, and D2 was Andrew Dyson's run, but cut short with a couple incidents here. But have no fear. The Australia contingent is up front again, running here in 6th position, represented by the 62 machine of Neil Pearson. But Alex Murray continued to work on the 21 machine of Patrick Gitter. As you can see, I'm just getting about a half lane up, half lane down, getting a little bit of clean air on the nose of that Gen 7 22 machine here to try to keep those tires happy as long as he can and leak out a little bit to the outside to get more clean air and maybe a little bit more momentum as he lets it walk up to the wall. And Lucas Hoytsma just watching all of the action here from the 5th position. So as we saw back at the beginning of the stage, we're working to lap 165. So we have about 20 or so laps here until that stage caution will fly. Again, barring if we don't have anything caution for cause or any more debris cautions, which we should not have. No rain in the area in iRacing, so we are good. Vortex Theory is alive and well here at the Homestead-Miami Speedway at the Boats and Hose 400 as we work lap 156 to 267. Again, your stage 2 will end at 165. So back in tire save mode, everybody will single file out here as we try to just look through the field. I don't really see any battles going on currently, so it looks like everyone has kind of grouped up. I do see that if we check a little bit back, the Dustin Hall group here. So back in your about 8th, 9th, 10th position. So we've seen this quite a bit too for the stage points. Oh, as Dustin Hall gets a little close to that wall, I thought he was going to strike it there.
His eyes showed everything.
Oh, yeah. As the odds get bigger for Dustin Hall there on cam, representing the WR1 Sim Chassis shirt there. So doing good on the sponsors. But in 10th place, so currently occupying that last stage position here. But he's lost a little bit of ground on the cars in front of him. So Matt Long and Alex Van der Sant, Big Car D Santa, are walking away from that one machine. So this little 3-car group is broken up a little bit. A little further back, we have Jeff Chandler. Looks like Jim Schofield as well. Or maybe, is that Jim Schofield? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, so those two kind of in a little bit of a high-speed chess match battle here. Again, Jim Schofield, one of your Rookie of the Year contenders. Jeff Chandler, also a Rookie of the Year, but started the season here a little bit late. Again, he's just come on here in the last few races in the 31 machine. So I actually think he took a number change here. So he was running the 28, I believe. So 100 point penalty for number change here in
Is it really?
Cup Series. If approved by admin, it's kind of at our discretion, just because otherwise you'd have guys changing numbers every week, which I will not be changing your number every week, because if you don't have the number you want, you just run another number anyway. Anyway, neither here nor there, but anyway, Jeff Chandler, who's also a rookie, so making up ground in that, so maybe can get to the top 10 of Rookie of the Standing Points, not really in contention for Rookie of the Year. As we saw Jason Jedi Taylor, I believe, going down pit road, that is the number 41 Supreme Machine So a little bit off strategy here, maybe even looking to park the car. So he was 35. He is 35 laps
he's
down.
not going to be gaining
not
much
really,
with that off strategy. I'll tell you that.
Yep. So not trying to call, maybe calling the quits here. We'll see if Jay Taylor comes back off of pit road again. Had that early incident on the very first start of the race, took some nose damage. But then things again, another car that things just have not gone right for tonight is that 41 Apex Racing machine. But nope, it's coming back out. So Jason S. Taylor, Jedi,
Probably
is
his
not
time to
giving
go
up.
down pit road.
Yep, probably just his cycle. But yep, not going quietly into that night. We'll come back out here. So we still have looks like 22 cars still out and running. Oh well, not 22, excuse me. 21 cars with Cody Colley going behind the wall.
Yeah, that's why we've moved over to our top 20 tower. Since 21st, 22nd, and 24th are currently out of the race. The only driver is, of course, Jedi Taylor in 23rd, who, by just staying out, will be able to overtake Carl Dodson and Cody Colley to possibly finish 21st, maybe even higher if there's a multi-car wreck before, 35 laps to go.
Yeah, more going on here in the top 5. So that group has now closed up. So the 2 and 3 car group has now become a 4-car group, 5-car group, excuse me, as John Delaney is about 7/10 up the road. So Adam Benefield is falling back. But that has condensed that 3-car group of Gitter, Horseman, and Murray. And Neil Pearson has made his way back onto the group here as well, as Benefield will go up to the high side. So maybe just going to give these positions up for the cars around him. Looks like he is going to do that. So maybe adjustment too far here for the 83. We'll have to see and track how this goes. But not looking like he has the speed that he had in stage 1 for John Delaney, as they were trading side by side switchbacks and slide moves. Not the case this time. Remember that Adam Benefield will have the 1 lap older tires, as he came down pit road first. So that also could play a part. He hasn't really had any clean air since he came off pit road, as he was following John Delaney, as Neil Pearson will take to the high side to get some momentum here on Alex Murray. It looks like he has that. He will duck to the inside to see if he can get down in turn number 3 here on the 22 machine. Not quite there, but taking a peek, showing his nose under the 22 machine. Can he get beside him? Looks like he has. So side by side, door to door here with the 22. As they are now racing for that 6th or 5th position.
A lot of these drivers, I've noticed, are definitely operating a very loose vehicles. He's going to let the 62 know that he is there and to not let his guard down. But a lot of the drivers are really loose off the corners. This is a track that really would benefit that. You want to have your car really sliding, kind of getting themselves further away, angling away from the actual walls. And while that will kill your tires, it's going to be beneficial, especially when you drive off the corner up there in that high line. You want that car to break off the traction and kind of like point itself towards the way you want it to go, to avoid smashing into that outside wall in the exit of the corner.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And just looking here through the field.
It's really, unfortunately, though, a hindrance on the inside line, because that's when you don't want the car to lose traction. You want to have that grip. As you see right there, we'll see if the car wiggles to and fro as it gets under the power. We've seen Dustin Hall struggle with that in his in-car cab. We saw Alex Murray not do it this corner, but did it the last corner. And that's when it hurts, because, it's going to be easy to have a car that runs the outside line. But I've noticed that a lot of these drivers are able to use that inside line strategically. But if you can't really get on the gas on the inside line, it might as well be something you really just can't do, because you're going to be losing time to the drivers in front of you. Like we've seen Alex Murray kind of lose time to Pearson and Benefield. As actually Benefield has dropped down to 4th. I think this is, outside of pit stops, the lowest Benefield has been all race.
Yep. So something not doing. Maybe the track going away again. We expect track temperature to get cooler here as the ambient temperature cools off here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Yep, back up on screen. So we are down to, nope, still 81 ambient, still 91 track. So not a whole lot of change here. A strong wind, though, here in Miami. You see the 11-mile-an-hour wind, so that will be playing havoc on the drivers.
Definitely is windy right now in Miami. That is for sure. When I was outside earlier today, as I accidentally turned off all the telemetry, I did notice a wind. It is not as cold as it usually, and by cold in Miami, it's like high 70s, low 80s. That's sweater weather for us here in Miami, but yeah, it's not as cold as it usually is compared to November when we used to end the season. So maybe these drivers might still be adjusting to the temperature here in October, late October. Now, I do have a question. We did start this race roughly around the same time the real life drivers should be starting, right?
Yes, we did. I don't expect that we'll get the full night transition just because we're going a little bit early. I think we typically started at 5:30 or something back in the olden days, a little bit later on the East Coast. So 2:30 start time for the race. So I don't expect us to get to nighttime. We'll get dusk though, so the sun will get low, and we should get that pretty orange glow over the South Florida area. But yeah, I don't expect that we'll be racing too much into the nighttime. So as we have 4 laps here left in the stage, we're working lap 161 here, going to 165 at the end here of stage 2. Situation on the road is John Delaney is out front, followed by Gerda Hoytsma. Benefield has slipped back down to 4th place. Which is about as low as we've seen him run in some time. So the undercut for him in the early pit stop not quite working out. A couple people I do want to touch on, though, is the 5 machine of Bobby Anderson, who has worked his way back up to 11.
Oh, yeah.
So the recovery drive is going well and good here for the 5 machine. So hopefully he is able to fix the remaining bit of that damage if he has not gotten it done already. And things are looking up for the Toyota driven by a bobber there in the 5 car. So as we see the 6 car around some lap traffic. Someone that doesn't seem to have worked out for was the early call by Dustin Hall in the 1 machine. He came down a little early. He still finds himself mired down there in the back towards the end of the midfield there. So he's running back in the 16th position. So not able to capitalize on the early pit stop as he's trying to work his way around the number 3 car of Wayne Grass. As we get a shot there as well of OBJ briefly to check back in on the front. So lap traffic once again becoming an issue here at the end of the stage as Hoytsma and Gitter will now have to work their way around Tanner Marty in that DGR number 29. So not the night that Tanner Marty was looking for.
There we go, 3 wide.
Yep, 3 wide as they try to work lap traffic. He is in your no, he's not in your lucky dog position. That will be Randy Drumhiller is currently in your lucky dog position. Nope. It is Tanner Marty. He's the first one lap down. Yep, but so not all bad for Tanner. All he has to do is kind of sit here and make sure nothing else happens, and he will get the lucky dog and be able to pit with the leaders and give it another go here on the lead lap. But 165 pit road is closed as we're working to the end of stage number 2. We can see the battle here for second position as Lucas Hoytsma is working on Patrick Gitter for that P2 spot. Again, John Delaney about a second up the road now, so barring any catastrophe, he should be gone. Issue for Adam Benefield? Nope, just working around lap traffic. So as we watch the battle here continue, Patrick Gitter, so he will do the switch back and back underneath. He will go under the 07 of Lucas Hoytsma as they do battle down into, I believe we're in turn number 3 here, working in turn number 4. So back on the front stretch they go as this will be the final lap of the stage. Oh, excuse me, that was your stage. So John Delaney is your winner. Drag race for second place between Hoytsma and Gitter.
Who's Hoytsma?
Yep. So it looks like Hoytsma got him. Benefield, Pearson, Murray, Long, Hodson with another P8. So again, continuing that good run from Las Vegas. Big car D Santa. Alex Van der Sant is looking good here. He makes the 9th spot. And Matt DiCiani, who's also in your round of 8. You can see the red banner there. He will take that final stage point here in stage number 2. So that will be the end as we now work lap 166 under caution. So the guys will all form up behind the pace car, and we will have some stage pit stops, and everyone will set their car up for the end game here, the end of the race. And I guess now we can get Delaney is our stage winner. Maybe we get a word with Lucas Hoytsma. We haven't really talked to him much this year.
We didn't talk to Benefield for stage 1. Let's not talk to the stage 1 winners. We've talked to them all season long. Let's talk to the other drivers we want to talk to.
Absolutely. We'll probably get Holtzman up here and see if we get a word and see how his race is going. We already
Yeah,
talked
let's
to
wait for
Anderson.
after the pit stops.
Seen a good recovery drive from that 5 machine. So it's good to see him get some of that damage fix after the pit road shenanigans in stage 1. Jeff Chandler's worked his way up to P12, as well as Kyle Hammond there is also in 13th. So some decent runs here going for guys further down the field. Again, Dustin Hall a little bit further. Jim Schofield not quite where he wants to be again, fighting for those Rookie of the Year points. But looks like all the rookies here have him covered here tonight. So he'll look to maybe get some more adjustments. I would expect him to also be. He's on that Dirty South Racing squad, so I would expect him to be on similar equipment to Andrew Dyson, Neil Pearson, and those guys. So maybe have a little something here in the stage now that we'll get a little bit of a longer run here going to the end. With that being said, go ahead and pull down Lucas Hoitzman, and see if we can get a word with the 07 machine. Well, they are not in, or maybe they're in the Indy channel. Hold on.
Maybe they're in a private server.
That don't looks like they're in the Discord, which is not great. That's why we want.
What about Gitter? Is he?
We do have Gitter. We do talk to Gitter quite a bit.
That or Murray? Murray's 5th right now.
Murray, yeah, I guess so. Let's
we got Gitter in here. Oh, no, never mind. I see. I saw the wrong thing.
Discord is not cooperating. Hold on. Here we go. Hey, you know what? Let's just grab. We'll grab Gitter. That's fine. He's closer here.
What? He was in here for a second. I moved him, and now he's gone.
I got him. Patrick Gitter's the Marson Booth. You got a copy?
10-4.
Well, man, looks like you got a strong P3 there. So getting stage points that you're looking to get here today, looking for a strong run. You're up there fighting with Benefield and Delaney, so you're constantly at the front. How's the car feeling? You feel like you learned quite a bit. Do you have anything for him here as we enter the final stage of this race?
Yeah, man, I have some good battles up here. Learning some things, tweaking with the car as we go and hit some of these stages. So it's going to be interesting to see, how the track changes this last run here, and if guys make adjustments on the last green flag run.
Yep. We haven't seen a lot of track change yet, but again, as we get later in the day, we expect the ambient and the track temp to kind of slowly drop on us, and that will affect how guys' car handle. Something I did want to talk to you about is, look, we saw a lot of issues of guys getting on and off pit road. Just tell us a little bit about, is it just a little loose as you're coming down? I know guys are trying to hold speed and maybe getting into the debris, but how is the getting on the pit road and getting off working for you guys?
Yeah, I think we're managing okay. I think the challenge here is it's just there's such a harsh change in banking coming onto pit road. They don't have a lot of time to get down there. After coming out of 4, so it's been interesting, man. It's been interesting to see. Some guys have struggled. We've watched it from the in-car in the race. So definitely something to manage, especially if we get, the green flag run and green flag pit stop here.
Okay, 10-4. Well, good luck to you, sir, here at the third stage. Hopefully, again, you have a good run. Again, I know you want to get some stage points and secure yourself into that championship 4. So good luck on the rest of your race.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks to you guys in the booth. Doing a heck of a job. Appreciate EPI, Team Conti, Martin PC, C12 Design Shop, all those guys.
Wow, jumping on the sponsors early there. All right, we'll put you back up the team. Good luck.
10-4. Appreciate it.
All righty, so Patrick Gitter out of the booth. So, yep, so having a strong run, again, enjoying the battles up front. Had a little bit of chaos here because I forgot to set it back to double file restart. So hopefully we got the guys here straight. We had to extend the caution there for a quick second. But looking for some excitement here on in the stage 3. Again, we saw that passing is possible. We saw all the switchbacks happening. So when it is go time after the tire saving phase is over. The guys are off and going, and they're ready to, willing to mix it up here, change the different lines again. Progressive banking here at Miami Homestead Speedway, so we expect to see more of that here in stage 3.
Miami Homestead Speedway, huh? It's set to single file. Never mind. I thought it was set to single file there for a second as the drivers were single file at the backstretch with one green, but no, it's all figured out and sorted. They're going to be double file restart. Still yet to have a caution for cause. We've had 2 cautions for the stage breaks and 1 caution for race control accident. But this is the second race of the round of 8.
Debris caution, Carlos. Debris caution. You kill it.
Yeah, debris caution.
There's shiny tape on the backstretch. It's tiny carbon fiber.
Pace car's off.
Pace car ducks off here, and we are underway. So double file at Homestead-Miami Speedway. Let's make sure there are no penalties here. There are.
Kyle Amon and Randy Drumhiller both got black flags. Sure, that'll be taken care of. But single file for Jonathan Delaney, who has led every single start and restart of this race. He was the pole sitter, and somehow, even though he only won stage 2, did lead on the restart after stage 1 ended. He got the lead back from Benefield. Single file by himself. Everybody else is at this point now cleared out their battles, with the exception of, they figured it out themselves. Everybody appears to be single file so far. First double file battle is between the 4 of Matt DiCiani and Randy Drumhiller.
Yep, so battling as the guys get going here underway in stage 3, trying to secure that track position, baby, before we start the tire save phase, and we all single file out and start to get a little bit of space as we watch here as Randy Drumhiller in your 15th position, and Bobby Anderson works his way around him in the 5 machine. So tight racing here in the back of towards the back of the midfield here, as already taken to the top is Randy Drumhiller, trying to defend from the cars behind. So I haven't seen a lot of the number 44 car. Actually had a little bit of an incident last night, I believe, with the 3 machine. So a little bit of words were exchanged, which is pretty rare for Randy. You don't really find him in a lot of things. So it tells me a little bit of mischief was going on. If you're getting under Randy's skin, he has to talk to you a little bit. So again, our resident OG of the league holds a lot of respect with everybody. So anyway, back up front as we check in with Lucas Hoytsma, maybe testing his equipment to see what he has on the short run for John Delaney, to kind of set himself up for the end of the race as he takes a peek to the outside. John Delaney's going to defend a little bit off the wall, a little bump drive from the 07 to move a little bit. And he gets a little bit of wobbly going into the turn there as he will make the pass on the 6 machine. So Lucas Hoytsma in go mode and not looking to sit behind the 6 car of John Delaney tonight. So gets around the stint analyzer machine. He puts his car in clean air, and we have a new leader in the 07 as we work lap 176 of 267.
That all kind of seemed like it was Jonathan Delaney not really doing anything, kind of just being all right, went the outside, I go take it, and then Hoytsma had the run, went to his back bumper, and then Delaney was like, well, I guess if you don't want the outside, I'll go there. Took the outside line, let the 07 go by, so we have a brand new race leader with the 07. Quick update for all you Jedi Taylor fans. He was able to get past Carl Dodson and Cody Colley into that 21st spot, and it looks like he may be calling it a night as he has parked his car in pit road. So he's just sitting there. He can technically bring his car out whenever he wants, but he is parked down there. I think he's eating an ice cream sandwich, and he's got a phone call to make.
Yep, side-by-side action as we look back in the field. SOBJ making the move on that 3 machine of Wayne Grass as he follows closely behind the 25 of Kyle Ammon. So looks like he's going to try to make that move, slides up. Yep, he does, and takes away that position from the number 3 machine. So that was 11 places. SOBJ now looks to take another spot away from the 25 of Kyle Ammon. Rides for now, but that close, tight pack. Look how close they are. You throw a blanket over these positions. So that is, looks like that is from long back to grass is your 8th to 12th position. As you watch here, is Kyle Ammon goes under the 96 of Alex Van der Sant to try to take away that position. So out of line he is. And look at the 5 machine. Tonio is on the move. Spanish frosted flakes. He had a little,
Antonio.
inside joke. He had a little Tonio Frosted Flakes is on the move as he's trying to make his way around Dustin Hall in the one machine. So Anderson a little further back than where he started before the car, so he's back in 14th. We saw him up as high as 12th.
I think he was just getting the damage repaired.
96 and the 25.
I think he was getting the damage repaired. He came back an extra time as well, as you mentioned, because he is only in pit road for 8 seconds. So I think it's safe to say he has every bit of optional damage repaired on that car. And he did say he would be a threat to look out for in stage number 3. So unfortunately, he probably expected all of his damage to be repaired before we got to stage number 3. So he's, I think, a little bit further behind on his plan and strategy from where he actually thought he would be. But, you know, a caution at this point could change things up a little bit some more.
Yeah, absolutely. As we continue to watch the battle there with Kyle Ammon, as we look a little up in the field, but they're still side by side in the back. Oh, maybe a little bit of contact there by SOBJ as he is now getting the move put on him by 24. Looks like he just got around Kyle Ammon, but the 25 and the 96 continue to battle. As looks like the 96 is still hung out to dry there on the top side. Another thing about that top line we haven't really talked about is there is a small bump as you exit too. That if you hit just wrong, or if you're just now getting on the accelerator, you can unsettle the platform of your car, and it can do some weird things to you on the exit. We did see Dustin Hall, I believe that was on 2, that kind of did what I would expect it to do. If you're trying to keep it off the wall and you hit that bump, or again maybe you got it matted to the floor, you can get a little bit of wheel spin and a little bit of looseness on the exit of turn 2. So sometimes you got to watch out. But looks like he's able to slot back into line now. As looks like the sun's getting a little low, I'm starting to see more reflections off the cars. So we're slowly moving into dusk here in the virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway. As the virtual sun's getting low in the virtual sky. And this is sim racing, where the racing is virtual. Or the cars are virtual, but the racing is real. Sorry, I had to get a little corny there, Carlos. I always love those eSports commercials where they always do the racing is real, but the cars are virtual. So, anywho, as we continue to watch the race here, you know, looking back out front, Lucas Hoisman has stepped out just a little bit from John Delaney, Patrick Gitter, and Alex Murray there. So he has stretched his legs just a bit. So pulling what we saw the 83 and the 6 do a little bit earlier, he is now doing himself. So deciding not to save as much tire, could be perhaps doing a Carl Dodson move here, maybe going to sacrifice a little bit of that performance early on to come down pit road maybe a little bit earlier. And you're going to have to force these guys behind you to either chase you or let you go. And the risk is if they let you go too far, you might have the time you need if you start to do the math of how much time you need on pit road to get on and off and what your expected degradation would be in lap time. A slight miscalculation, and you could see the 07 potentially walk off here. No more stage caution, so unless we get a caution for cause, there are no more planned breaks. So you're forcing these guys on the fly to adjust their strategy and keep a close eye on you, with, by the way, having to defend from all the guys behind them as well to secure those positions. Looks like we got playoff drivers as well, Carlos, all over the place. So your top 4 are your round of 8 competitors, Hoytsma, Delaney, Gitter, and Murray, as we see more side-by-side battle. Looks like the 25 and the 96 can't let it go. A blood feud here is breaking out lap after lap as they continue to do battle here. And 41 back on track, so every effing point for Jedi Taylor. He said he's not done. He's jumped Cody Colley.
Unfortunately for him, I don't really see anybody else he can pass at the moment unless there's another wreck.
Yeah, unless Andrew Dyson decides to park it, or there's a wreck with more than 52 laps to go, because he's currently 52 laps down. So, but he's going to come out here and run it for points and see what he can pick up. But as I was saying, your playoff drivers, the top 4, and then we have Matt Piciani, your next playoff contender there in 12th position. And look who's just behind him in 13th is the 5 car of Bobby Anderson. So he is making ground on some of his playoff competitors here.
Whoops,
as the recovery drive continues. Nope, problem, the ticket disappeared, but back on screen we go. On the roof cam here, riding alongside with Tonio as he tries to make the move here on Matt Piciani in the Mardon PC Chevrolet, and just gets a bit of, side drafting, but not giving any room. Dangerously close here as he dives down into the turn, trying to drive and slide up on the 4 car. Looks like not going to be able to do that. He is able to do that, but to change the old switcheroo, the switchback comes around And now the 4 car will do what the 5 car did to him just a second ago. He will side draft and try to duck on down into turn 1 as they get exceptionally close. Has to back out of a little bit, almost contact. Looks like both of these cars might be having a little bit of handling trouble trying to keep it on the limit as we watch this battle unfold. Lap 188 with 80 laps to go here in the race, working the 267. So 3 cautions here so far, 2 for stages and 1 for debris earlier in the race. So not really no cautions for cars. We have had a few incidents, a few pit road entries, a lot of cars in the sand barrels. The 04 got into the 1 car earlier in the race in stage 1 as we continue to watch the 4 and 5 battle here on screen, as well as we got the 04 that got into some more trouble later on in the race with the 2 of Carl Dodson, kind of forcing him to park it behind the wall as well after they made contact entering turn 3, I believe, with Dodson being a little bit off pace. So sitting here watching battle, Lucas Hoytsma Carlos is continuing to walk away from the top 5 as he has now put another second since the last time we checked in. He is 2.2 ahead of Patrick Gitter, and looks like he is able to sustain that. So maybe pulling a John Delaney from Las Vegas, where he just says, to heck with the tire saving. I feel like being chased today, so everyone's going to have to chase me. We'll see when he comes down pit road here. Again, the max fuel stint we expect, similar to Las Vegas last week, will be around that 65 number, be the max we expect people to go. Maybe if you're in max fuel save mode with the draft and clutching and turning the car off, maybe you can stretch that to 66, 67. I don't expect with the tire fall off, we'll see anybody push that unless you're hoping for a caution. But time will tell as we ride here in stage 3, lap 191 of the Boats and Hose 400.
Yeah, he's pulling away very quickly now. The question is how long he can do this. Now, if you're right and he's doing what I think he's going to be doing, I expect to see him probably coming down at the 200 lap mark. You know, that'll be 67, or excuse me, at the 202 mark. You said 65 is for sure the first safe number. You know, you could stretch it out, but if you're going to be doing a strategy like that, you don't really want to be saving fuel. You want to be going out knowing that you can make it on fuel. So probably around 202, we can expect to see him possibly going down Pear Road, maybe a couple others, but I expect to see this run for the majority of the field kind of get split in half, not just when the window opens up.
Yep, that all makes sense. And I will say that, look, that number that's a rough, so the window is probably 62 to 67. Again, as we always get into, you know, this is a completely open setup series, so just like real NASCAR, these guys during the week and leading up to these races, especially your playoff contenders, look, they will be going through, they are able to go through test sessions offline and online with their teammates. So they'll be trying all different shock packages, spring packages, tire pressures, you know, changing the aero platform and adjusting the underbody. So they'll be doing all those things leading up to this race, just like full metal NASCAR, to get the most, trying to find that balance between car handling, long run speed, all those things that matter. But a part of that is also your gear, your rear end change. A little bit what we talked about at Las Vegas. So you are completely free to choose how tall or shallow a gear ratios you want to choose, and that will ultimately affect how much fuel and how much RPM you're feeding to the engine, and that will adjust that fuel number. So again, the window is about 62 to 65. I'd expect the safe number to be around 65. I'd expect everyone to, you know, typically what happens in all motorsports is most people fall around and hit the same kind of settings on their setups because there's, you know, at the
look at this.
upper levels, there's some action on the racetrack. Yep, we got some radioactivity and 3 wide on the racetrack. So some things are going on here back in the top 5, which is all good for Lucas Hoytsma. What he wants to see is he extends that lead about another second. So looking like he made the right call to get out of traffic. As we also see Nolan Hodgson make his way up into the 6th position. So good run continuing here for the 12 machine as Adam Benefield falls back just a little bit. And look at Neil Pearson up in 4th. Not a whole lot changing for Patrick Gitter as he remains in the 6th spot. Looks contact a little bit for the 25 and 96, and the 4 has entered the frame there. So these two are still at war. Man, this has been going on for maybe 10, 12 laps at this point. The 96 and 25 have been swapping places. And definitely wanting to get around them is the 4 car. So he's up into the 11th spot. He was in 12th a little bit earlier, so he will try to pick that off of, keep that off of Alex Van der Sant and stay in that 11th position. But a good run going for Kyle Hammond up into the top 10 now. So definitely, I'm sure that's probably the highest he's run outside of the pit cycle today. So good to see Kyle Hammond being able to put it together in the 25 Mellow Yellow machine. And a little bit of time given back to him, about a 10th shave back down now that everything's settled down to Lucas Hoitzman out front as we watch Jeff Chandler on screen going toe to toe here. Looks like with SOBJ in the 24 Apex machine here. So that's Silver Dawn Wheat machine trying to make up some ground. This is your battle for the 13th position. As looks like nothing doing there as he continue to ride behind the 24 car. So as we saw in stage 1 and 2, everyone's kind of pairing off into 1, 2, 3 car groups. So we got a little side by side again. Looks like Adam Benefield is trying to make his way back around the 12 car. So I don't know if he got a little loose earlier. Maybe that's what all the commotion was about. I did hear him on the radio, couldn't hear what he was saying, but he will take the position back away from the 12 car, so back down to 7th place for Nolan Hodson. And now he has the 22 Project eSports machine of Alex Murray all over the back of him, who looks ready to pounce on that 6th or that 7th place that he occupies. So Alex Murray, usually a guy you see up in the top 3, top 4. So maybe having a slightly off night tonight, but we got some fast cars here in the field. A couple things to point out as expected. So it looks like we have Loudmouth Motorsports representing. So that's the 07 of Lucas Hoitzman, as well as Apex up front. So John Delaney. So a couple teams getting it right here. We have EPI up there as well with Patrick Gitter and Dirty South Racing representative in the top 4. So 4 teams in the top 4 here. So these are different esports teams, different teams in the series that will, again, completely separate from each other. They will have done their own setup research and all that good stuff, all their own testing. And under a blanket here in stage 3 as we work back 200 of 267. But a couple DSR cars, Dirty South Racing cars up front. So we have Long and Pearson. Again, Pearson's kind of affiliated, so he's more of a Wood Brothers situation. So kind of a partner car with DSR, but not officially on the team. But I assume he has all this same equipment, right? So he's buying all the engines and all the spare parts and shocks and stuff from that DSR garage.
Now, I do want to go back to what we're talking about, like, especially with this being an open setup league and how these drivers are able to dictate how they're going to be, setting up their car. And you did mention gearing, how tall or short they can make it. Now, I wondered, while this was going on, I did go on board with your race leader, Hoitzma, and he is constantly in a 4th gear, so he's running that gearing setup. Like I said, it's a 4-gear car with a 5th gear used possibly for in a draft situation, because you can even look at it now. This car can still go even faster in 4th gear because he's barely even getting into the red on the RPM. And this time, he didn't even get to the red at all. And sometimes I'll see it blip into the red just a little bit before he does have to go into the corner. So this is a pretty tall gear. I think it's tall. I think tall is. I'm not quite sure, but this gear is going to be pretty good for saving fuel.
Yeah, so he's running. So put my engineer hat on here for a second. So
some math here.
In these cars, the optimum power band is around 8,200 RPM is where it kind of, if you're looking at your graphs of kind of torque and all that stuff or how that happens. So around 8,200 RPM is about the sweet spot in all of your gears there. But typically what you want to do when you're building a setup, and different. Thank you, Carlos, for the graph there. Semi-live telemetry we got on screen there. So typically what as you're building a setup, the first thing you do is you kind of want to time your max RPMs to be slightly hitting the red or slightly at the end of that gear. As we a little bit further in the field, looks like we got some weaving going on with guys trying to break the draft there. I believe that's Matt Long, Alex Murray, and Nolan Hodson I was seeing there just off to my left there. Yep. So I think or maybe somebody got a little loose, but it looks they were like Las Vegas. They were trying to break the draft on each other. That was interesting to see. Again, this is your battle back here for the 7th and 6th position there. So but anyway, back to the conversation. Yeah, so you can, typically when you build a setup, start off, you kind of want to be maxing out. You don't want to be chipping. You don't want to hit the ECU chip, the limiter there where it stops your RPM so you don't blow your engine. But you want to get close to it, right, to ensure you're getting all of the acceleration out of the car. But there are a couple schools out there. So for high draft tracks like this, where you're kind of, a lot of on throttle time, you kind of want to be as close to that optimum, that optimal power band, if you will. So it's probably what we're seeing there with Lucas Hoisman and LMM have decided to go that route for their gearing. But as you mentioned, on these transactions, you do have 5 gears available. So you can gear it out so that you're using 5 gears. Again, depending on the track, as we get a little corgi love there and right on board with John Delaney in the 6th machine in your second position, 1.8 seconds back of Lucas Hoisman right now as we try to stalk him. So that gap is coming down slowly but surely. We saw that gap get out to almost about 2.9, almost 3 seconds on Lucas Hoisman. Now it's slowly coming down as the pressure is being applied by that 6th machine here on lap 207. But yeah, as I was saying, you can run 5 gears if you choose. I did see some of that in Las Vegas. I think in my setup in D2, 5th gear was kind of the save gear, where you could keep a little bit of speed and pace, but then lower RPMs, lower fuel usage, eke out a couple extra laps over the course of the run if needed. Didn't actually end up needing that, but again, a couple strategy all over the place, right? Not just what's on the racetrack, but also what's happening back in the conference rooms before the guys get to the track and jump on the flights, as Nolan Hodgson does. He does a flight in Microsoft Simulator every week, flying from track to track. I think some of the guys also will hop in ATS as well to kind of simulate moving the hollows around as well. So, but yeah, before all that happens, you got guys, again, all the smart guys doing all the math. The guys like Robert Miller not in the house tonight. 15 is absent again, as we mentioned, on the grid. So he will be in a must-win, and we go to Martinsville. And is definitely capable of doing that. So he'll be a dangerous man if he does grid for race number 35 on the season. But yeah, as we watch the kind of the lap deltas here, as we do, as we see the eye test, the stopwatch confirms John Delaney is consistently over 1/10 of a second faster. So a little bit of the time holding back Lucas Hoisman. So it'll be interesting to see. Now the game is to watch what does Lucas Hoisman do. He knows he's going to get caught at this point. As we work with 59 laps to go. So we are within the fuel window. If you choose to come down pit road, you could make it to the end from here without any more cautions pretty safely. So the key will be to what does Lucas Hoisman do? Has he run out the clock to force John Delaney to catch him? And does he pit immediately after being caught? Does he pit before being caught? Or does he try to run it a little bit longer as well? Or, is he potentially even holding on to a little something? Maybe he's allowing the 6 car to get to him and maybe use what's left in the tank or what's left in the tires to maybe just hold him off by a second. So we will continue to watch that. 3rd place is following John Delaney here to the front. So Patrick Gitter continuing that good run tonight as we see his times on the board as well, as he also continues to make up time on Lucas Hoisman. Neil Pearson, who's falling a little bit off. So looks like that 2nd and 5th pack is broken up just a little bit. So not quite as tight as they once were, as the 62 machine is 2.7 back from your leader here, followed by Matt Long in the 97 machine. Again, 2 Dirty South Racing machines there in 4th and 5th. Alex Murray running in your 6th position in the 22 machine, Prodigy eSports representative. Nolan Hodgson continuing that great run he's currently having as well in the 12 pink number Brant Ford, I believe I think he's Chevrolet. I think he's running a Chevrolet in the 12 car. As John Delaney continues to work closer and closer to Lucas Hoisman, down to 0.8 of a second on lap 212. So he will be on the gearbox in the back of the 07 shortly. So just continue to look back through the field. Bobby Anderson is up to 8th position. So I believe his highest spot, we've seen him. So the recovery drive, he made it up to 12th at the end of stage 2. 4 more spots for him. More importantly, he's made up ground on Matt DeCiani. So Matt is back in 10th as we watch Adam Benefield back here. Oh my goodness, that's Adam Benefield in the middle there, yeah. Back in 9th place. So your stage 1 winner. Looks like he has lost some performance or something has gone wrong with the car. Now, he did have older tires, a little bit of loose there, so he's definitely bobbling. Maybe a little too aggressive on the adjustment there for the 83 machine. So not as strong as he once was, as now he is under threat. As now he is attacking the 5 machine of Bobby Anderson. So maybe spoke a little too soon. The old man, the balding bullet himself. takes away a position from Bobby Anderson, so back down to ninth he goes. Yep, as you can tell, let's look back through the field. So where we leave off at, yep, we talked about Anderson. We talked about DeCiani, who was now also on the 5 car. So that's another battle we've seen all night. These two have been going back and forth.
Still are.
Lap 150. Yep, and here they go again.
Oh!
Part 4 of the saga, door-to-door contact. No love lost here between the 4 and the 5. So Matt DeCiani trying to take that spot away from the 5 machine. This is your race for 10th. And again, these are playoff competitors in your round of 8. If you look to the left on your ticker, you can see the highlighted in red names. Those are your round of 8 playoff contenders. And on the camera, you can see they have the red windshield banner spoiler and the red splitter. So this is, and a little bit of wall tap there from Matt DeCiani as he got off the wall there. And look, here it is. John Delaney has arrived on the scene and ripping the boards there, running the high line to get that momentum on the front stretches. Lucas Hoysma continuing to run on the bottom, so he's wrapping the white line. Interested to see if he will try to start the aero block John Delaney and kind of mirror drive to see where he is going. If he's running the top, if he's running the bottom, and see if he goes where Delaney's going.
Neil Pearson just smacked that wall. And Neil Pearson went a little wide, exiting 3 and 4, gave it a little tap. It looks to be okay, but that cumulative damage is going to keep track of that for maybe the future.
Yep, issues for the 62, man. The Australian guys are not having a great time tonight. As we are lap 217 of 267, 51 laps to go here in the rest of the field. And John Delaney is 2/10 off, so he has officially caught Lucas Hoysma. But having some trouble, I would expect him to get around him a little bit easier than this. So following in the tire tracks of that 07 machine, looks like he's able to get to the bottom just a little bit better right now. As Lucas Hoysma will go defensive, trying to break the draft here to make sure that Delaney doesn't get underneath him. So Lucas Hoysma looking like he wants to keep the inside line, not going to go to the top to defend. I wonder if that means that his car maybe is not the best up top, and he already knows that. Or maybe he knows Delaney wants, and Lucas Hoysma is loose off of turn number 4. So that will open the door for John Delaney in the 6 machine, and he will dive down under Lucas Hoysma, slightly ahead as they go into 1, door-to-door racing. Side by side out of 2. You got to watch the bump if you're the 07 machine, not to get loose. He does not. He's able to put the power down, takes that momentum half a car length ahead of the 6 machine that still analyze the car. And here we go. The battle's underway. Again, the key will be what does Lucas Hoysma do here? If he's unable to hold the lead, does he pit immediately or does he try to ride in the draft with John Delaney? But again, that's assuming John Delaney can get around him, as he cannot. He will fall down in the back or behind, try to side drive just a little bit. Lucas Hoysma will continue to take away that exit. That's how you do it. Again, you got to watch, be careful not to get loose here and try to stay off the wall. Clean racing as they continue. He will fall back in line, but as they do this, look who has arrived back on the scene, 3rd place. Patrick Gitter is loving what he sees here. That has allowed him to come into the race here. Lap 222. It is now 3 cars up front racing here for the win. 4th position right now is Matt Long has moved up, so he's gotten around Neil Pearson, who I believe was in that 4th position for a long time. So he is also moving towards the front here as John Delaney goes back to the high side, trying to take that spot away from Lucas Hoysma with the 07, not going quietly into that night. Wants to hold on to this lead. Feels like he can win this race clearly as he is fighting to the nail with the 6 machine. But it's interesting to see now that Gitter is caught up, Delaney has all kinds of problems, right? It's not just looking out his mirror, out his windshield. He's got to look out his mirror now and watch for the move for Patrick Gitter. So let's see if he goes in to defend, as these guys all 3 are under a blanket. As Lucas Hoysma will go to the high side this time, perhaps trying to take it away from John Delaney as they both ride up high, but look down low. Patrick Gitter will try to get the power down on the bottom to see if he can take that position away. 3 wide, nope. Gitter will slide behind. Hoysma keeps the momentum as we go to the blimp view to see the side-by-side races here by the 6 and the 07. Continuing good, clean racing, man. You love to see this, Carlos. This is why we show up every weekend to pretend to be and loose by the 07. Contact
No!
The 6. In the wall goes the 6 car. The 21 goes around him. The 07 apologizes immediately on the radio, so did not want that to happen as the 5 car comes down pit road as business is picking up here on lap 223. as we go to a 3-wide TV replay to see exactly what happened here. So just hard racing. Again, I've talked about how hard it is to maintain your momentum in these turns. As looks like just a rough entry there for the 07. The 6 comes right up to his door. And as he's trying to keep it off the wall.
This is essentially the beginning of this whole last lap.
I got you. So this is going into so this is where we'll see what exactly happened. But again, I just expected that Horseman was trying to keep it off the wall and he's got a little bit loose. Yes, he did. Slides down a little bit into the 6 car and contact made. The 6 then has to save it, right? He has an unstable front end and then has to counter steer, and that takes him into the front wall. Luckily, does not break a toe link. So he remains in 3rd position. But Gitter has now gotten around both of them. New leader, as the 21 car is now out front in the lead in the command of this race. So that incident between Delaney and Hoytsma has led to that EPI machine of Patrick Gitter out front. And so now they both have problems, and looks like is that Matt Long has made his way up. So the top 4 now under a blanket. As we have, I believe we have EPI, we have LMM, Apex, and DSR all racing here. Oh, as the 07 is going to come down pit road. Did he make it on? He looks like he got a little bit sideways as you watch the battle.
Yeah, he was good.
So 3-wide, yep, 3-wide multicam, no penalties for the 07. So he is the first down pit road with 42 laps to go. So that is the number to remember. 42 laps left in this race. And what do the top 4 do? All right, he is so same thing we saw with Adam Benefield. Does he now pull down the top 5 down pit road so they do not lose and minimize that the tire degradation loss they would have and not gamble? The alternative is you could stay out and then gamble at the end that there will be fall off from Lucas Hoytsma. But we've seen on the long run already that Lucas Hoytsma can keep pretty good pace. I wouldn't take that gamble that he fall off at the end of the run. So I'd imagine we'd have to see guys starting to come down pit road now to cover this off and continue the battle with the 07. So here is the race for the win as Dustin Hall is also on pit road. So as we continue to see, green flag stops here underway. Again, your top 5, Gitter, Long, Delaney, Pearson.
Gitter.
As Gitter is on pit road, so he comes down, makes it onto pit road.
He's all good.
Clean to me. Yep. I hear the 31 call out pit stop, so everyone is kicking off here, starting to bring the stuff down pit road. I think I see Adam Benefield. Is he slowing down to come down pit road? He is not. Oh, he's in turn 2, so I looked at the wrong thing. Jeff Chandler down the Wheaton machine is down pit road, and that's silver Chevrolet. Long is now your leader, so he has gone around John Delaney again with Patrick Gitter pitting.
Delaney pit road.
Coming down.
Oh, Delaney.
Delaney is smokes the tires. Looks like
he's all good.
So no black flags for speed in sector 1 or 2. Looks like he was sliding for quite a bit there though. So getting everything he can out of that pit road entry. Looks like these guys have gotten plenty of practice, Carlos. They know exactly what to do with it now. Just catching them out in stage 1, but everyone is getting down and keeping some pretty good speed here onto pit road. Matt Long still out front, 2.8 seconds ahead of Alex Murray, but Alex Murray has his hand out the window. He is coming this time by. As we also see the 25 of Kyle Ammon on pit road getting service.
Benefield.
And Benefield will follow. Yep, Benefield will follow Alex Murray on the pit road. So there's 2 more from your top 5 there as Long continues to stay out. So he's going to run it a little bit long here on the pit cycle.
Get it?
I made a funny. Looks like Wayne Grass is going to stay out, but I don't think he's going to get the lead here because he's just so far. He's about 40 seconds back, or not 40, about 25 seconds back. So not sure if he will actually grab the lead here, but he certainly won't because Matt Long is still not come in. So Matt Long taking the gamble. There he is. There's the 97. He's now on pit road. So 38 to go. Looks like we have just about cycled all out here. So 38 laps. So he will have the freshest tires, but he would have given up a few seconds here, staying out and running long. Perhaps hoping for a caution as we see Randy Drumhiller go by him as he exits pit road. So Wayne Grass continues to stay out. Have not heard him call out any pits yet, so he looks like he's planning to run another lap potentially. And he will. So he drives by. He will lead some more laps here this evening. Lucas Hoytsma is your virtual leader, so he has gotten around or stayed ahead of, Patrick Gitter under that pit cycle. Not only that, has about 3 seconds on him as well. So that definitely paid dividends, or about 2 seconds or so on Pat Gitter. So the 21 machine sets off, and he will try to bring back the 07 of Lucas Hoytsma. John Delaney looks like he lost quite a bit. So he is now behind Pearson. So your top 5 as they run, or your virtual top 5 as they run, Hoytsma will inherit the lead once that Wayne Grass comes back down pit road, and he is. You see the 3 machine there, the Pennzoil Chevrolet, is now down pit road. So top 5, Hoytsma, Gitter, Pearson, Delaney, Anderson is in your top 5. Oh my goodness, I didn't expect to see, as I was reading the list of names, I didn't expect to see the 5 car. So Tonio, the recovery drive of his life, doing everything he needs to do to punch his ticket and secure his way into that championship 4, so that he's racing at Phoenix. Again, after that pit road incident with the 77, ton of damage he had to get fixed over the course of the few pit stops that we had. He's been able to do that, and that car looks to be handling quite beautiful. So Toyota as well getting another good finish here tonight. So good manufacturer points as well. 3-wide multicam TV as we watch Neil Pearson, John Delaney up top, the 62 and the 6 car, battling for your 4th position. So just take a quick check of my track map. Looks like we're all pretty spaced out here.
Yeah, this is kind of what I expected to see at the end of the stage 1 green flag pit stop. I see a lot of these drivers getting separated. Lucas Hoytsma 2.2 seconds ahead of Gitter, who is about half a second ahead of Pearson, and then Delaney, and then of course we mentioned Anderson, and I was about to be like, well, Anderson has yet to pit, but then I looked at it and it's like, oh wait, no, he has pit. Everybody has pit. They're all good in the cycle. I think Anderson did pit. He did pit earlier compared to everybody else, about 3 laps earlier than race leader Hoytsma, 5 laps earlier than Gitter and Pearson. So he was one of the early takers, so we could see this possibly hurting him towards the end of this last 30 odd laps remaining, or I guess 33 odd laps remaining here in this Boats and Hose 400.
Yep, 33 to go. Lap 235 on screen, watching Neil Pearson work his way, work with John Delaney. The other thing I want to focus on here is you see that 3 machine in the 29 of Tanner Marty. I believe that is for position. So this is your race for Lucky Dog. If we were to get a caution for cause here tonight in stage 3. So that is important for the 29 and the 3 car, as they are getting worked around the leaders. But they're also in their own race, so you got to take stock of that. But it looks like Wayne Grass might be just stepping away here from Tanner Marty's. He has to let people go. But the 3 car, Wayne Grass, will also eventually lose time, as when Gitter, when Hoytsma, Gitter, and Pearson, all those guys work around him. So we'll keep an eye on that race for Lucky Dog, just in case we do get a caution. But for now, 2:37, and Lucas Hoytsma 2.4 seconds up. So, Carlos is looking like he has made the move of the race by taking the lead, getting that 2-second gap, making those guys chase him. Did not waste time coming to pit road, one of the first. So we've already seen, and he's demonstrated that he can stay away from the field if need be, and he's doing that already. And again, with these guys working around lap traffic, it looks like he is not. So that's even more help for that 07 car to stay away. Look, a race winner in this series. So no slouch as Lucas Hoytsma. Was personally my dark horse pick for last year's championship. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I think he came out 3rd in that at the end of Phoenix, but is more than capable and definitely a legitimate playoff threat, as we see Andrew Dyson, who has had a horrible night here for his playoff run. He's still 4 laps down after a couple incidents earlier in the race. Hate to see that. So again, one half of the Australian contingency not doing so well, but Lucas Hoytsma may have played this beautifully, 2.6 seconds back. We know he should have this pace. Again, the guys did catch them as they kind of rounded that 40-lap mark. But that is a gamble that Lucas Hoytsma is willing to take to see if he can get a win and lock himself into the championship 4 and take a weight off his shoulders from Martinsville, which is almost like a wild card track, or a plate track, if you will, Carlos. You never know what will happen. So many cars get torn up at Martinsville. So many things can happen that you definitely don't want to chance your championship hopes on that. And Lucas Hoytsma has decided that today we will not wait on Martinsville. We will take what we can at Homestead-Miami, and we work 240 here on the front stretch. So 28 laps to go in the race, 2.68 ahead of Gitter.
Yeah, I'm surprised that this strategy has worked. I mean, I shouldn't be. We saw Delaney kind of use this almost to perfection last week. But of course, just like last week, about and a half, 267 lap race, at a track that emphasizes momentum and drafting. Breaking free from that draft, getting away from everybody else, giving yourself the freedom to not be restrained by others, as we're seeing the 07 do this to even more of a perfection so far, and without a planned caution happening, it's looking to be like Hoytsma's race to win, unless there's an accident. Which, these guys are all professional. These are skilled drivers. They know what they're doing. It's going to be hard for them to just make a mistake. So we have a good chance of going caution free. Although a lot of these drivers are running really loose race cars, but at a track like this, it's been known to have its long runs. I do expect to see the 07 Hoytsma cruise to an easy victory.
Yeah, look, it's still all to play for here, so it's not sealed. But again, he has set himself up. He's fighting. He's forced these guys to fight him on his strong turf. I know we talked a little bit about that at Las Vegas. So he has that good short to mid-run car. The guys look to be a little bit better than him on the long run. But look, this isn't going to be a long run. I think he pitted with, again, 38 laps to go. So we're not going super long here at the end of the race from when Lucas Hoytsma came down pit road. And he has the measure of everybody on that last run. I'd expect more of the same here. Again, if we can just do a quick check, Carlos, of our track temp, as we're seeing a little bit of the golden hour come over the the Homestead-Miami Speedway.
Yeah, let me get it up
here
for
in
you.
South Florida.
It's dropped 1 degree.
Yep, so not a huge drop in the track temp's down a couple of degrees. But yeah, ambient temperature, not really a whole lot of movement there. Still have quite a bit of wind. I was just about to say that, Carlos. But again, the guys would have been gotten a taste of that as we look a little bit back further in the field here. The 25 of Kyle Ammon and 24 of Sean O'Brien Jr. Looks like Kyle Ammon's having some handling troubles as that battle's going on back. So this is for your 15th position, about 22 seconds back from the lead. But SOBJ trying to track down. Looks like he scraped the wall a little bit there as he chased down the 25 of Kyle Ammon. But looks to be one of the closest battles on track, other than looks like Hodgson and Long are pretty close together as well. But see if Kyle Ammon's able to get control of that kind of ill-handling race car. But again, not the race that Sean O'Brien Jr. will want to have. Again, one of our quicker guys here in the league has an astounding top 5 rate if you look over the course of his 100% career. So very successful here in the full length 100% races. But again, Homestead-Miami just not being kind to the Rhode Island native as he continues to work. Try to work towards the 25 car of Kyle Ammon. We check back up into back in the league, still 2 seconds out on Lucas Hoytsma, but closer back is let's see, we got Anderson and Long in 5th and 6th, who are decently close. It looks like Nolan Hodgson as well has just made the move, or making the move on Alex Murray as well. So that's your battle for 7th position. So the 12 of Nolan Hodgson doing battle with 22. I'm hearing some words on the radio, so I guess whatever happened, that wasn't a clean move, so they're not really happy with each other. So I heard Nolan say, was that necessary? And Alex responding, so they go side by side again, or not side by side again. That's looks like Adam Benefield as well is trying to get by the 12 machine as well. So he's trying to move up as he stays in the 9th spot, trying to take away 8th from the 12 of Nolan Hodgson. So again, not quite the night. There's a little twitch here from the 83 as he washes up a little bit. Keeps out of the 12 car. They live to fight another day, as he will drop back behind Nolan there as they go down into 1.
Yeah, the 83 kind of fading out like he has this race is pretty shocking, because I would honestly have expected Benefield to set this up to be a middle to long, or I should say, set the car up for the late afternoon, early evening portion of the race, and not really have it really exceed on the first part of the race, which we saw him competing. He got stage 1 he got the stage 1 victory, did really well at stage 2, although he was dropping a bit towards the end. But that car is not been able to maintain its consistency throughout the whole race, and you see him dropping down to 8th. I think he was 9th not too long ago. So Adam Benefield, uncharacteristically, just not really there at the end of this race.
Yeah, look, he's in Hunt checkered flag mode, right? Eliminated from the round of 12 at the Roval. He was disqualified due to incident point. So championship run ending, but now he is on championship mode. I did get a chance to talk to Adam Benefield a little bit before the race and a lot of the Team Conti EPI guys. So again, what they showed up with the D2, honestly, they said they felt, him and the Gitter and the boys, they felt good about what they had during the week, but when they showed up to D2 and kind of saw what the Dirty South Racing boys unloaded with, decided they had to get back in the lab. And so as early as an hour before the session, they were in there even with the big boss man, Michael Conti himself, as we see John Delaney into the wall, trying to defend from the 62 of Neil Pearson. So this is for your third position. So a podium spot here at risk, as Delaney trying to keep on that position, again, wants all the points he can get to make sure he is secure into the championship 4. He has a pretty commanding lead. I think he was about 27 points up, something like that. So not in as much danger as some of the guys below him, but definitely wants all the
30
points he can get. Neil Pearson also on that Adam Benefield plan, right? He's hunting checkered flags. He's here to win. He's here to take points away from playoff drivers to help his guys out. So the DSR guys of the 5-car of Bobby Anderson and the 04 of Dyson, who will definitely need Neil Pearson and Matt Long over here taking points away from playoff guys, and they're doing that. So doing what they need to do to support their team members. So playing the long-term strategy to see if they can set their guys up for the best possible position for Martinsville. 16 to go as we work on lap 252 of 267. And the gap is slowly coming down to Hoytsma. Slowly, so about what we saw when Delaney gave chase before the pit stop. Looks to be about a tenth at a time. Maybe get the lap differential up to see how that is coming along here. And that looks like it'd be about hit or miss. So, not hit or miss. He's making up about half a tenth a lap, up to a tenth. So he's starting to pull back Lucas Hoytsman. So the clock is started on the 07 machine. Does he have enough to stay away from the 21 car of Patrick Gitter and hold on to this win? Look, Gitter also wants to take this checkered flag. That would also punch his ticket into the championship 4. He could compete for his first championship. So a rookie in the series, potentially on his way to Phoenix to fight for the 2023 championship. As we look through the field here, look like got a few guys again. We're pairing off again as we did before. So guys are all over the field. I'm keeping an eye back there on the battle with the 25 and the 24. So they're still fighting hard. So every point matters there for SOBJ as they're back there racing for 14th, 15th. But the battle on the way here is no, that's Jedi Taylor. I think he's several laps down. So
yeah,
I guess trying to. I guess he might be on fresh tires, trying to work his unlap himself, maybe, or certainly doesn't look like he's trying to get out of the way of playoff drivers here. So I'm not sure how happy they'll be about that as he now tries to get around the 5 of Bobby Anderson. So yeah, I think we did see him pit not too long ago. So on a different strategy than everybody. Again, Jason S. Taylor is not for position. He's 53 laps down. Looks like, not going to catch the guy in front of him. So Andrew Dyson, who's still running around on track, 5 laps down. So Jason S. Taylor will finish 21st in this race, it looks like.
Yeah, unofficially 21st, unless for some reason we have a caution that extends about 20 odd laps for whatever reason. Let's say the power goes out or whatever. But that sun is setting. You can take a look at some of the way that's the light is bouncing off these cars. It's starting to get dark. We're not going to get to the point where we're going to need the lights, but we're getting into that sunset, that golden hour territory for these cars.
Yep, and battle on track. So the 83 on track, battling with the 5 car. So looks like they've thrown down the gauntlet. 11 to go here. It is go time. It is time to use whatever you got. We're continuing to watch the battle of 3-wide multicam TV. 07 out front by about a tenth, but he is losing ground.
Oh no!
Lap. Oh, and an incident with the 5 car. Wreck on the speedway. Caution is out with 11 to go. So contact between your top 5, I believe that's what we were watching there. Not top 5, top 10. Murray and Bobby Anderson racing for your 8th or 7th position there. Looks like nobody else was caught up, just the 5 and the 22. I don't know if Nolan Hodgson was involved. I know he was in the vicinity. So 3-wide playoff, 3-wide TV replay.
Oh, the 5 got loose.
Just loose. Yep, just loose. I think Nolan was able to avoid that. So just a small mistake there. Again, we've talked about that top lane. There is a small bump there. So if you do have enough steering wheel cranked into it and you kind of hit that bump on top of being onto the, oh, there we go. That looks about what it was. He started to slide down. Nothing that the 22 could do. So Alex Murray, the Project eSports driver, not a whole lot that he could do there as he was trying to make the move on the 5 car. Let's see if Nolan Haas was able to avoid any contact here as we continue to look at 3-wide TV replay. Wow, not a lot of time to react. Oh, he got around it, so I don't think he got any damage on the 12 car.
No, he did not, but everybody's down pit road. Most important stop of the night for everyone.
Yep, the money stop is on here. Everyone down pit road. You can't last. I think we'll have about 7 to go here once we get back green, and that's far too much time to be giving up again. You know, on fresh tires and new tires, I mean, you're giving up, if everyone's full tit, you're giving up almost a second, right? It's half a second, 0.8 a lap. No way you can really defend that. So everyone comes down pit road. Any 2 tire takers. Oh, off way before Lucas Hoytsma. There is Alex Murray. So the gamble is on for Alex. Looks like Kyle Ammon. Oh, no, Kyle Ammon's down. He's just the ticker didn't update. So Alex Murray with the money stop. Project eSports gets their driver out ahead of everybody else. He will be the control car as we go with 7 to go. So huge move. Hoytsma will be on the front row with him, so we'll see what lane Alex Murray decides to take. We do have lane choice here for the lead row, so you can choose a top lane if you so choose here in 100% Cup Series.
So I think we can get a word with him.
Oh, yeah, let's grab him real quick. Yep, okay, got him. And to the booth. All right, Alex Murray is to Barson booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, Alex, looks like you've hit the money stop. You've made the call after the incident there with Bobby Anderson. We'll get to that in a second. But first, let's talk about the pit stop. You coming off pit road first. Was that 4 tires, 2 tires, low fuel? What'd you do there to get out in front of all these guys up front?
Took a gamble on 2. We'll see what happens. I have some damage on the car after that incident, so gonna try to hold them off. I don't know what's gonna happen here, but gonna give it my all.
That might be the call. We'll see. I know that Patrick Gitter earlier this year at Darlington made the 2-tire call and was about in your position with maybe 9-8 laps to go, was able to hold him off on a track that's hard to pass. You can defend here at Homestead, so you may have just made the call of the race. We'll see what happens. We'll see if those tires are enough with 8 to go. But let's get real quick into that last little bit. Looks like just looking here from the booth on the blimp, looks like you guys racing hard, and Bobby Anderson just got a little loose trying to keep it off the wall and drove down into you is what I saw. But what did you see from your perspective?
I saw clear track in front of me, and then the wall. So I don't know how we didn't get a meatball there. Only 30 seconds of damage from it. So thankful we didn't get taken out of the race by it. But second time in the playoffs, Bobby's done something like that. First at, I believe it was Texas, and then here. So hate that it happened. Bobby's a great guy, but gotta fix some of the mistakes. Yep,
unfortunate contact. But yep, lucky enough to come out with not a whole lot of contact. So good luck to you, sir. You have looks like we'll be about 7 to go here. So good luck. Maybe we're talking to you at the end of the race. Hopefully you can hold them off, man.
Yeah,
go for it.
Yep.
All right. Well, okay. Do you think that's gonna work out?
It might, man. Look, 2 tires. Look, 7 laps is not a lot of time if you can hold the top. Again, we didn't have a ton of laps on those tires, so it would have been about 20 laps ago. We were 38 or 40 to go when everybody finished the pit cycle. So that's what 20-some odd laps on your left sides. He might have enough. Again, he's going to be at a disadvantage, no doubt. And it looks like he's chosen the top lane, so he's thinking what I would be thinking in that position, right? Put my driver hat on. Is take the top lane and try to hold that thing for dear life, right? You're going to give up the corner speed in the middle, but you keep the momentum up and take away the exit for all these guys behind you, and you force them to try to put the power down, and they're going to have to take the risk to get around you, right? As long as you don't make mistakes, you're going to force them to make the pass, and if they can't do it, and by the way, they're going to be racing with each other, right? It's not just Hoytsma as the pace car ducks off, and we get ready for the green light, and early he goes. Alex Murray is gone. on the restart here. And we are underway with 7 to go, or 6 to go, as we cross to lap 262 or 267, already trying to get underneath. And so this is what he wants to see, right? Ultimately, he wants 3 wide behind him, right? He wants these guys fighting and tripping over each other, and he might just have just enough speed.
Well, there it is, 3
wide. Delaney, there they go. That's what Alex Murray wants to see, but these guys have to get everything they can. Hoytsma on the bottom, working up to the middle, takes that lane away from John Delaney as we look back at the Hornets' nest here. Big car D. Santa, Alex Van der Sand's in 3rd position. Whoa, what a run for him as he's moved up. I think this is the highest we've seen him all night, as he will run the top line. But more importantly, 3/10 the second to Alex Murray, the 22 Project eSports machine, who may have made the call the race.
Wrecking in the back.
Wrecking the back.
That's Hall, I believe.
So is there a caution? Hall,
no caution.
No caution. We remain green. So he's going to have to hold it off here till the end as we see the 1 car get back going underway. But Lucas Hoytsma, so this is not what we want to see. 5-4 to go as we cross the line here. Lap 264. Alex Murray out front. Lucas Hoytsma hunting them down here, stalking in the back 2/10. But Lucas Hoytsma's under attack from the 6 car. John Delaney trying to take away P2, they're fighting to get to the back of this 22, right? Because they know that they have the tires. They might be able to pull it off. But a masterful job so far. This 22's doing everything he needs to do. Interesting to see if he's going to start aero blocking some of these guys. John Delaney goes to the top side of the track.
There's a replay.
Wide TV multicam. This is what happened with back in the pack with Dustin Hall. So maybe I couldn't see if there's contact to kick that off, but he got a little squirrely and able to save it, keep it off the wall. So good on him. No caution as he keeps rolling. But back out front on the bottom we go. Lucas Hoytsma all over the 22 of Alex Murray, who's trying to hold on to this lead. 3 laps to go here in the race of the Boats and Holes 400.
Oh, he gave him the outside line.
Yep, he gave him the outside. I don't think that's what you wanted to do. John Lane's trying to take the outside from Lucas Hoytsma. The 07 is going to pull off the move. It's going to be loose. He is not. He puts the power down. Side by side now he goes for P2. So looks like the call didn't work out, but hey, still a great finish for Murray. So he's going to fight here to stay within the top 3, top 5. Patrick Gitter waits in the
contact
position. Contact. He's not giving up though. Side by side, he's continuing the race. Project eSports on Loudmouth Motorsports in the 07. 2 to go here. Popsicle sticks are in the air as these 2 are continuing the race. Oh, excuse me, that's John Delaney. I'm sorry, not Alex Murray. John Delaney takes the spot away. He is now.
Oh, Delaney's loose.
Here comes the 6 car, or the 07 car of Lucas Hoytsma, as we drag race down the line. So here's the thing: you got to play this out right. It's kind of like Daytona. It's high-speed chase, high-speed chess. You got to hold off and watch out for the switching lanes. Right? We've seen the momentum. We saw Adam Bitterfield earlier in the race in the 6 car do this time and time again. As we got hard racing 2 in the back, I see some door slamming between the 25 and the 3 car, but we'll stay up front with the lead of the race here as they go door to door as well. The 6 car,
oh my goodness,
make contact. They're touching, not an inch given. This is the white flag and the wreck in the back with Kyle Emmett, but no flag. We will race to the checkered as 07 crosses the line, crashes after the race as he was trying to. Delaney was trying to
avoid him. Oh, that car's good.
The 07 punches his ticket. Man, you know, I said Las Vegas was the best race we had. That is definitely the best finish of the race that we had, racing all down the field. Let's watch the finish of your race. The 07 and the 6 doing battle. The final corner here coming to the checkered flag.
He did exactly what he needed to do. He pinched Jonathan Delaney down on the inside and was able to prevent Delaney from getting that run, and it worked out perfectly. And as he spun out, nobody else was able to hit him. And he's honestly, that car can do another 400 miles.
Absolutely clean car, does a pirouette after the checkered finish, after the checkered flag, but hey, doesn't care about that. As he'll come down the front stretch and burn it down. Lucas Hoytsma is your winner. Punches his way. He's back in the championship four, so 2 years back to back as he goes into the wall celebrating.
That car's legal.
Hey man, we don't need the card anymore. Yep, we don't need the card. Yeah, trying to tear up some for the post-race tech. But 2 years in a row, he will compete in the championship four. So once again, going for the 2023 championship, Lucas Hoytsma is your winner for the Bolts and Hose 400 here in the 100% Cup Series. As we look at your finishing order, John Delaney again, just 43. Look at that, 4,300s behind as they were door-to-door racing. Close, hard racing here between the top 2. Alex Murray, 2-tire stop, didn't pay off, but does hold on to third place. Good stage point, or good finishing points for him. Matt Long, fourth excellent run for the DSR machine, who's not a playoff driver, but again, trying to hunt that checkered flag. Patrick Gitter in fifth. Alex Benefield worked his way back up to sixth place, so good recovery for him. Noga Hodson, 2 weeks in a row, he has a good run in seventh position. Big car DeSanta, Alex Van DeSant, made a huge run. I mean, he's been back in like 16th all race and made his way back up to eighth, so good on him. Matt DeCiani in ninth. SOBJ back up to 10th. That's an excellent position for him. Again, he was also mired back in about 17th all race. Neil Pearson, who was up front, fell back to 11th, but still a decent run for him. Wayne Grass pulls out a 12th place tonight, so that's excellent for him. Randy Drumhiller in 13th, Jeff Chandler in 14th, Kyle Ammon in your 15th position. 16th goes to Bobby Anderson. So the number 5 machine, the recovery drive didn't quite go on. We saw him have the incident with 22 machine. Jim Schofield is the 17th position. So Tanner Marty, Dustin Hall, Andrew Dyson to round out your top 20. And then our cars at or several laps down and kind of behind. I think Jedi ended up finished, but Cody Colley behind the wall in 22nd. Carl Dotson did not complete the rest. Another DNF for Dalton Mobley in 24th. And I think we had 25 cars or we had 24 cars?
No, just 24.
Okay, so that's your last place, Dalton Mobley, who was the first DNF of the race. So we'll enter the post-race segment. So we'll get our top 3 finishers here down into the waiting room and get ready to get them into the booth. But man, an exciting finish there, Carlos. I mean, tire strategy at the end. They have the late caution. I mean, you can't write the stuff any better. And the guys put on a show, man. A good, hard, clean race, and what you love to see here in the series. So, we will get a word from our top 3 finishers here in just a second. And Delaney. Where's my lead?
This has been a fantastic drive from all the drivers who finished in the top 10. Every single one of them at some point was running near the front. But excellent job by Lucas Hoytsma to take the advantage of Alex Murray having that older, those 2 older tires, and being able to get the lead before anybody else could, and holding off a really hard charging Jonathan Delaney in what is really a very clean battle for that win. Jonathan Delaney, props to him for not really doing anything dirty or just wrecking the 07, even though there was contact at the very end that it didn't change the result of anything. Yeah, that's just hard racing. Alex Murray, that strategy was involved in the last caution, pulled this out of nowhere and was able to get it to work.
Yep, and that's the first person we'll talk to. So your third place finisher, Alex Murray, we'll pull him into the booth. Alex Murray back in the booth with the Mars. You got a copy?
Yeah, good.
Well, man, I think every branch of timeline of reality of the multiverse played out there. In the last of the 2 tire stop, didn't quite work out for you, but still a good points finish. You're able to hold off, maybe just about 2 laps short there. The guys got the battle behind you, so you kind of need a little bit more of that. But look, the call was fantastic. You almost pulled it off, man. Tell us about your race, man. How do you feel about the finish you were able to pull out there?
I mean, just a struggle tonight. I couldn't get comfortable. Haven't been able to race it all this week, just throughout the week. So had a lot of catching up to do through the first portion of the race, and then once I finally got comfortable, the track started changing, so I had to chase the track, and just felt like I was a little bit behind tonight. Overall, the setup was great. It was more me lacking than anything. Just can't thank Ryko enough for supplying us good sets every week, and just continuing to support Prodigy.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, great points night for you tonight. You got some stage points as well. So you know what it is, man. We head into the last race of the round, so we're going to Martinsville. How do you feel about the short track package as we leave the intermediates behind and go to the true short track of Martinsville, and then kind of the quasi short track of potentially Phoenix, right? So how are we feeling about Martinsville as we roll into the last round, or the last race of the round?
Yeah, I think if we can get a solid qualifying effort, keep ourselves up front at Martinsville, and just solidify a spot in the Final Four, I think we'll have something for them at Phoenix. It's just going to take some consistency throughout the race at Martinsville, and then definitely a little bit of luck, and then just see what happens.
Yeah, excellent. Well, again, a hell of a race call, man. Made the big balls call of the race here, the Boats and Hose 400. 2 tires almost paid off for you, not quite, but you end off with a podium and some good stage points. Again, you came in 2 points below the cut, but I expect that to change once we tabulate all the points here. So anybody you want to thank or shout out that helped you get it done here in the 100% Cup Series?
Yeah, I'd like to thank the Northern Alliance on Mental Illness for their continued research and dedication to help those mental illnesses, and also No Kid Hungry for providing 10,000 meals to children all around the world every day. Obviously, Ryko, and then Prodigy Esports, my family, everyone who supports me doing this. Hopefully we can make it to the Final Four and put on a show.
Yes, sir. Good luck to you in the rest of the playoffs. So, Alex Murray, your third place finisher, out of the booth again, made the 2-tire call and almost pulled it off. Not quite. Just came up a little bit short on Lucas Hoytsma and John Delaney. So we'll get Delaney here in the booth next. And here we are, your second place finisher, John Delaney. You got a copy?
Yep.
Well, John, I mean, I'll just let you tell the story, man. That's got to be one of the best finishes we've ever had. Hell, at an intermediate track, but definitely in the series at all. I mean, the last 2 races have been absolute bangers. Just talk us through that last lap again, you and Lucas, and or even the last 2 laps trying to get around Murray, and then the battle you had there with Lucas at the end.
Yeah, I knew there's going to be at least someone to take 2 tires, and I think, but both of the Alexes did. So I was starting both behind them, but I knew they'd be fast for a lap or 2, while everyone that took 4 waiting for their tires to get up. So I knew that they would be good for a little bit, and then as soon as our tires started to warm up, they'd be a little bit faster than those guys. So we're just waiting on that, and then we did get down, or we got past Alex, and it was just me and Lucas, and I got by him in 3 and 4 there, coming to the white flag, and got loose, and he was able to get a run on me, and then ran the top in 1 and 2, got a run on him back again, and it was just good hard racing coming to the finish here between us two. So not the finish I would have liked to have, but I'll take a second, but would have really liked to have the win.
Yeah, but you come out with a haul of stage points. I mean, you came in, I believe it was 32 up on the cut line. So you were pretty comfortably ahead. You're definitely going to add to that tally. A lot of unfortunate, some of your playoff competitors did not have the night they were looking for. The likes of Dyson, Bobby Anderson, we kind of slid a little bit further back as well. So you're looking good, sitting pretty here as we head into Martinsville. So we know you're also an ace on the short track. But again, life has changed since the last time we hit this time of year last year. So again, with the 94-hour work weeks, are you going to have anything prepared? Are we hunting the checkered flag at Martinsville? Are we racing conservative? Like, what's the plan now that you've had the first 2 rounds down and pretty good finishes here? What's the plan going into Martinsville?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think you always want to try and win every race, just to get that extra points buffer, and just to just lock yourself in officially. So, I mean, you want to go out and win every race, but it being Martinsville, there's a lot that can happen. There's going to be a lot of dire guys, like you said, Dyson, and some of the other guys that didn't have good runs tonight that are going to be trying to really push their cars to the limit, and probably stirring up some trouble with the other playoff guys. So people are going to get desperate, just got to keep an eye out for those, and if people are being a little aggressive, just, back off a little bit and play it smart. So, but yeah, we'll have a pretty good lead going into Martinsville, so we should be able just to kind of just take that race like every other, and just be consistent, try and be there at the end. Yeah.
Roger that. And I guess because you're probably one of the few that can look a little bit longer ahead. Not that you can overlook Martinsville. You still got to go and handle business. I don't think you'll be locked in. But knowing what you know, and it's so tight here on the cut line, again, we got a few guys that are in a must win at Martinsville. But is there anybody maybe you wouldn't be sad about them missing the Final Four? Who are you worried about right now? So we've seen Lucas Hoytsma was able to kind of get the job done tonight here, and you had a heck of a rocket ship, man. But again, he was able to execute that 3rd stage, so he's definitely probably on the radar. Obviously, Alex Murray, even on the 2 tires, was putting up a pretty good fight. So who is it that kind of concerns you, or that you have your eye on going into Martinsville, that you maybe not want to see hit the championship for him in Phoenix?
I mean, there's a few guys. Obviously, Robert hasn't been here the past 2 races, but he's he can go out there and win Martinsville in one race and make it to the Final Four. So he's definitely one. Kind of keep an eye out, see if he does go and race Martinsville, because that's one of his good tracks to race after him. But yeah, I mean, Alex Murray too. If he goes out and wins Martinsville, he'll be a threat in the Final Four, and at Gitter too. So you know, I think the championship race this year, it's going to be a hard one. There's going to be I think it's going to be one of the best out of the rest of the seasons for sure.
Yeah, definitely so. So yeah, I mean, those are definitely the top of my list as well. So anyway, before we get you out of the booth, anybody you want to give a shout out that helps you get it done here in the 100% Cup Series?
Yeah, thank you to Mars, Kevin Steele.
You're welcome, big.
Thank you y'all for broadcasting. Carlos, thank you. All the
You're
guys
welcome.
at Apex. Yeah.
Well, maybe not all the guys at Apex. I mean, Sean doesn't do a whole lot. But,
yeah. Assistant Analyzer, McConey Setup Shop, Lockdown Racing. Thank all those guys. That's all I got. I'll see y'all next week.
Yes, sir. I'm sure we'll be talking again, and we typically we're having to find guys to talk to you because you're always running up front. But yeah, man, good luck next week in the big show at Martinsville. Hopefully, again, you secure in Championship 4, but also good luck in your road to the iRacing Coca-Cola eNASCAR series. We know you're in the contender, so you got your pro license and all that stuff. So good luck as you continue that fight as well. And again, man, hopefully, I don't know, maybe we're spotting for you one day as you're racing against Lusa and those boys.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, John Delaney out of the booth for your second place finisher here tonight. As we will talk to the man, the myth, the legend. We'll get Lukey Bear, Lucas Hoitzma into the booth. Oh, did you move? I guess moving. And your Boats and Hose 400 winner, Lucas Hoitzma, in the booth, fresh from burning it down, probably already soaked the champagne and Budweiser. Lucas, tell us, man, that was a hard last lap. You and Delaney, you had to get around Alex Murray as well. So just walk us through kind of how your race unfolded and how you were able to execute there at the very end.
Well, man, I don't know. It started out this race. I had only a few laps. I had a busy day today, and I got in the sim and ran my qualifying laps. And well, I was like, oh shoot, guess we got to put it all in Martinsville. But as the first stage went on, I was like, oh, I think I got something in this thing. And then stage 2 got a little better. And stage 3, I just decided to start driving. I was sick of riding in line with everybody, so I just drove out in the clean air. And I was like, oh, it's kind of sticking. And then I don't know. I felt like I had it in the bag if that last caution didn't come out, but it did. So we had to mix it up a little bit. And Alex took the 2 tires. That really worried me. He drove out there real far, and that worried me a lot because me and John were fighting hard. But we got all single filed out and got up to him, and then we started racing again. And that 3-wide move, John in the middle of me and Alex, I thought we were all gonna wreck, but somehow I didn't hit the wall. Somehow Alex didn't wreck into both of us. Then we got to that white flag, and me and John are just soaring. Oh man, I so many times I should have been 20 points below the cut line tonight, but somehow we brought it on the checkered flag.
Yeah, but dude, that was exciting to see again. Excellent racing from you guys. Again, a lot of respect out there. Obviously, you guys have been racing around each other for quite some time, so I mean, what we expect. But yeah, look, that we saw the gamble. The gauntlet was thrown down. Alex Murray took 2. I think Vanderson also took 2 when I heard from him taking some spots. And yeah, you and Delaney door to door, man. What a show to watch. We definitely appreciate you guys putting on the show, even coming down the drag race to the line. You even had to maybe cut down on them a little bit as you guys were continuing to bump, and you did a little pirouette across the finish line. So got started on that the burnout a little bit early. So, but you punch your ticket into the Championship 4. That's 2 years in a row. You'll be fighting for a title. So 2023, you don't have to worry about Martinsville as much as all your other competitors. And we got a lot of guys that are going to be in a must-win situation. So kind of what's to talk us through what we're doing here? Is the prep start for Phoenix immediately with you and the LMN boys? Are we still focusing on perhaps helping teammates in Martinsville? Like, what's the outlook now that you've got your golden ticket to the 2023 championship?
Definitely, I'm going to be working on Phoenix for sure. It's definitely one of my weak points, so I'm going to be putting in some time there. But no, this week we're going to be working on getting Robert in there too, giving us a 50-50 shot, getting a championship for LMM. But it's going to be tough to get him in there. He missed the last 2 and missed this week because he got sent out overseas. So Robert, Mr. America,
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, that's what I expect. Anytime a war breaks out somewhere, Captain America goes to handle it and takes care of it. So, but good to confirm. So confirmation that we expect him at. So John Lane was a little concerned with him, and most guys in the field, right? He's a threat to win anytime he suits up and puts the fire suit and helmet on. So we'll be on the lookout for Robert Miller. But man, you are the man of the hour. Congrats on your win here at Homestead-Miami. I know you didn't expect it coming into the race, but look, you're a race winner in this series, so you're always a threat as well. Again, you were my dark horse pick last year. You might have just bumped up into that again, so no pressure for Phoenix. But anybody you want to give a shout out or thanks to here that helps you get it done in the 100% Cup Series?
Absolutely, man. Just big shout out to Robert again. He put in time to get us this rocket ship, even though he knew he couldn't race. So just big shout out to him. I mean, I wouldn't be anywhere near doing this if it weren't for his expertise. But just a huge shout out to Randy, Jacob, everybody over at Labor 12. Make sure to check them out on Spotify and all the other streaming platforms. Low Drag, CTC, M9 Performance. You guys for broadcasting this shindig, and everybody who puts this thing on, man. I love racing this.
Yeah, I mean, we hear the excitement. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Again, don't party too hard tonight. I know the Element boys are going to be going hard in the paint, so take it a little bit easy so you don't have that hangover tomorrow. But congratulations on the win, man. Again, hell of a race, probably the best finish we've had all year. So congratulations to you, and we will see you guys at Martinsville next week.
Appreciate it, man. See you.
All right, so Lucas Hoisma out of the booth. So your race winner, as we hear, wrap up the second race in your round of 8. Man, Carlos, another banger. I didn't think we could get any better than Vegas last week with the racing all throughout the field, but that one delivered. The late caution, the pit strategies, going through the stages, the tire calls, the gambles that they made almost paid off, not quite coming down to the line here at Homestead-Miami. Kind of sucks, not to get on the soapbox that this is not our championship race. That would have been exciting to see in a couple weeks' time, but we go to Phoenix or Martinsville first and then on to Phoenix and watch the boys battle it out. So we'll see how the points shake out between now and then, but Lucas Hoisma punches his ticket into the championship 4. Delaney gets a haul of points. Alex Murray as well gets the P3. So those two looking more and more secure. We just got word that we expect Robert Miller to be at Martinsville, and he is a threat. He's in a must win, but he's a guy that can absolutely pull it off at the short track. So another win of the season. Another great race of the season. I'm not gonna lie, this gives me a little hype for Martinsville, Carlos. So I don't know what you expect there, but hopefully we have another banger. So anyway, that'll do it from 3Y TV here on 100% Cup Series YouTube channel. I'm Demar Sickenbottom in the booth with Carlos Acosta also in the booth and pushing the buttons in the truck, serving you up all the pretty pictures and telling a wonderful story here tonight with the racing. So can't thank him enough for helping me put this together. I've been working all year, man, and we got a couple more races left as you come down in the season. But Carlos, it's been a pleasure, man. Again, we'll put on 2 more great shows here. But anyway, we'll sign out here from 3Y TV, and we will see you guys all in Martinsville. So stay tuned to the 100% YouTube channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't. If you want to see and continue the series, follow the series, and we will be back next week. Good night.